This page features the cover of the magazine, prominently highlighting major Sega news from early 1992. The headline screams about an integrated Mega CD, a major scoop at the time, indicating future hardware developments. The feature story teases, something is wrong on the Mega Drive front because the era of Sonic the Hedgehog new power has arrived, clearly pointing to the highly anticipated Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and its gameplay innovations like the spin dash. There's also breaking news with a report on the imminent Thunder Force IV, known as Lightning Force in North America, a must-have for SHMUP fans. A separate appendix is included as a perfect guide for Shining Force, the legacy of great intention, covering the early chapters of this classic tactical RPG. The cover also lists several games covered inside, including Mega CD titles like Lunar, The Silver Star, and Robo LSD, alongside Genesis hits like Turbo Outrun, Uncharted Waters, Elysia Dragoon, Pit Fighter, A-Train MD, and Slime World. It's a snapshot of the exciting times for the Mega Drive platform, with new hardware and major sequels on the horizon. This page is dedicated to promoting Shining Force, the legacy of great intention, highlighting its imminent release in March. The prominent headline reads, 3 March. Below this, striking text proclaims, Swords roar and magic thunders, amazing super-wide battle screens. This refers to the game's turn-based tactical battles, which feature large, detailed character sprites and dynamic attack animations presented in a widescreen format. The page features a large collage of pixel art screenshots showcasing various combat scenarios, different environments, and character sprites, giving a clear sense of the game's visual style and diverse enemies like skeletons, griffins, and monstrous creatures. Key character artwork is also included. The game title, ~, is clearly displayed, translating to Shining Force, the Legacy of the Gods, which is the Japanese subtitle for the first game, internationally known simply as Shining Force. Text at the bottom emphasizes the game's size, stating 12 Mega Thrill, and confirming it uses battery backup for saves. The release date and price are listed as March 20th release scheduled, 8,700 yen, provisional price. It's a strong promotional piece focusing on the game's scale, tactical combat, and presentation, building anticipation for its release. This page serves as a dynamic announcement for the imminent release of Shining Force, the legacy of great intention on the Mega Drive, declaring its arrival on the 20th. The page excitedly proclaims it as a completely new role-playing game, debuting on the system, and highlights that it's finally on sale. A vibrant collage of pixel art screenshots dominates the space, offering a visual feast of the game's tactical battles, diverse environments ranging from lush forests to icy caves, and a variety of character and enemy sprites, reinforcing the super-wide battle screen concept previously hinted at. The iconic title, Shining Force, is prominently displayed alongside the subtitle, The Legacy of Great Intention. This page, packed with action-packed screenshots, strongly emphasizes the game's tactical depth and rich fantasy world, building anticipation for players eager to dive into this new RPG adventure on the Mega Drive. The Sega logo and Sonic's image at the bottom reaffirm its Sega roots. This page announces the Mega Drive release of Turbo Outrun, Sega's high-speed, cross-country racing sequel. The striking artwork features the iconic red sports car tearing through American landscapes like deserts and mountains, complete with nods to the AKIS flag. The tagline challenges players to a continent-crossing grand race to blow away with turbo power. Scheduled for release on March 27th for 6,000 yen, the game promises exhilarating speed, impressive graphics, and dynamic sound as you race across the USA in your powerful machine, accompanied by your blonde passenger. Screenshots showcase the vibrant in-game visuals and the extensive course maps spanning the entire continent. Also briefly highlighted on the page are announcements for A-Train MD and the creative software art Alive, expanding the Mega Drive's library beyond racing. Sonic the Hedgehog makes an appearance, reinforcing the Sega brand at the bottom of the page. This is clearly a page aimed at building excitement for a major racing title coming soon to the system. This page introduces the Sega Wonder Mega, a powerful multi-av machine resulting from a collaboration between Sega and Victor. It's depicted as a central hub connecting various entertainment forms. This innovative system plays not only traditional Mega Drive cartridges, but also utilizes the advanced capabilities of Mega CD discs, bringing enhanced visuals and CD quality sound. Beyond gaming, the Wonder Mega functions as a karaoke machine, a standard music CD player, and even supports CD MIDI for musical applications. The page features a diagram illustrating its multifunctional role and a clear image of the console itself, along with a controller. This exciting piece of hardware was scheduled to launch on April 24th, with a price tag of 79,800 yen, significantly expanding the possibilities of the Sega platform. Note that games and peripherals, like the backup RAM cartridge, mentioned separately on the page, released March 27th for 6,300 yen, were sold separately. This page features a striking piece of promotional artwork from Wolf Team, a developer known for their work on the Mega Drive and especially the Mega CD. The illustration depicts several characters in a dramatic, fantasy setting, dominated by a central blonde warrior holding a large sword. Alongside him are a dark-haired woman and two other male figures. This distinctive art style and the characters strongly point to Wolf Team's action-adventure series for the Mega CD, particularly titles like Ernest Evans and Annette Futabi, which share this visual aesthetic and universe. The Wolf Team logo is displayed at the bottom, along with their company address in Tokyo. The focus here is clearly on showcasing the character designs and artistic quality associated with the developers' games. This page is a promotional spread for the Mega CD title Isle Lord from Wolf Team. It announces the game's release with dramatic flair, highlighting its innovative 3D features. The game promises adventure elements in a 3D room mode and tactical battles, incorporating the concept of height. Movement is described as 3D full-motion scrolling, utilizing a 3D look-on-eye perspective that places the player character on screen. The striking character art, signed by Haruhiko Mikimoto, is prominently featured, along with screenshots showcasing the different gameplay modes. The page also lists key staff, confirming Mikimoto's role in character design and revealing the voice cast for the main characters Charlemagne, Kusner, and Tilul. The game was set for release on March 27th. This page emphasizes the game's technical ambition with its 3D presentation and the appeal of Mikimoto's artwork, a major selling point for many fans. This page promotes the upcoming Mega CD release of Lunar, the Silver Star from GameArts. It's presented as a grand, dramatic RPG making its debut, leveraging the capabilities of the Mega CD with its large capacity, high-quality sound, and enhanced visuals. The game features a strategic 3D battle system and allows for free movement across the game world. The striking character designs are by Toshiyuki Kubuka, and the overall production staff is described as top A tier. The page showcases the main cast of characters alongside a mysterious large mechanical entity and highlights the game's presentation with its detailed artwork framed by an ornate border. It lists the standard price as 7,800 yen, excluding tax. This announcement positions Lunar as a major title, set to deliver a rich RPG experience specifically tailored for the Mega CD hardware. This page showcases Tenka Fubu, Roar of Heroes, a historical strategy game released for the Mega CD. The striking artwork depicts several prominent Japanese historical figures, including a large portrait in the foreground and others behind, some on horseback, set against a dramatic sky. Developed by GameArts, the game is highlighted for its massive scale, featuring 1,200 generals, each with individual graphics and family crests. It also utilizes the MegaCred's capabilities for impressive presentation, including live-action video sequences for the opening and ending demos, and CD-quality music. The game uses a large capacity of 130 mega, with 8 mega specifically for the live-action video. The page states, the game is already on sale for a standard price of 7,800 yen, excluding tax. This title is clearly positioned as a deep and visually rich historical simulation, leveraging the Mega CD hardware for enhanced production values. This page features Alicia Dragoon, a high-action fantasy shooting game developed by GameArts for the Sega Mega Drive. The artwork depicts the protagonist, Alicia Lane, a warrior tasked with saving the world, alongside a menacing dragon. The game is promoted as an attractive fighter, with a thunderflash attack, announcing its imminent release. Screenshots showcase the game's vibrant visuals and intense side-scrolling gameplay, highlighting different environments and combat situations. One caption mentions using Alicia's lightning magic to defeat evil enemies, while another shows summoning her 4 companion creatures, familiars, to overcome a pinch. There's also a description of the wide-area automatic targeting attack to wipe out multiple enemies. Key features include the use of Mega Room, 8 stages, and 12 areas. Notable staff contributions are listed, including monster design, story, and visual supervision by Gainax, Music by Meccano Associates, and Character Concept/Visuals by Yasuhiro Imagawa. A message from GameArts expresses gratitude to users for their patience during the development delays, stating their commitment to an uncompromising production system has resulted in this confident first action game title. They hope players will fully experience the high quality of their work. Alicia Dragoon is set for a late April release, with a standard price of 7,800 yen, excluding tax. It stands out as a visually impressive and action-packed title from a respected developer. This page delves into what it takes to become a game software creator, highlighting the indispensable equipment used in the process. The focus is on vocational training, featuring Shozaburo Tateshi, a student at Vantan Computer Information Institute studying game software creation. He discusses using high-end machines like the Macintosh and NECPC 9801, costly CG software, and various audio mixers and synthesizers from companies like Roland and Tascam. Tateshi explains that while he has some equipment at home, the school provides access to professional undergrad tools and a crucial environment for learning and collaboration with peers and teachers, which he believes is essential for becoming a professional creator. Simply experimenting at home, he notes, isn't enough. The page also provides information on mock exams offered by Vantan, details on recruiting students for their 1992 daytime courses across various creative and technical fields, and schedules for admission counseling and supplementary recruitment briefings. This page showcases the upcoming title, Detonator Orgun for the Sega CD. The dramatic artwork features the titular mecha alongside a human character against the backdrop of space. The text highlights the game's theme with phrases like, transcend space-time, and command/order, fitting for this adaptation of the popular sci-fi anime series. Players can anticipate controlling powerful mechs in cosmic battles. This page features the striking artwork for Detonator Orgun, showcasing the iconic mecha in a dynamic pose in space. Following the tease on the previous page, this confirms an upcoming game adaptation, slated for release in April. The game is highlighted as a significant production, boasting full animation comparable to the OVA itself, an entirely original storyline unique to the game, and the introduction of new characters. The text also sets the dramatic premise: the birth of the strongest hero amidst an alien invasion that has brought humanity to the brink. The page also lists the existing OVA episodes and the soundtrack, underscoring the franchise's popularity leading up to the highly anticipated game release. This page showcases the striking box art for Devilish, known as Bad Omen in Japan, a classic horizontal scrolling action platformer for the Sega Mega Drive. The artwork depicts a dramatic scene with a large, dark, stone-like structure adorned with glowing pink and blue orbs, being supported by a pale, draped figure resembling a goddess or spirit. This is set against a turbulent sky with lightning, floating rocks, and a large, luminous blue planet in the background. The prominent game logo, Bad Omen, is displayed at the bottom, just above the Japanese title. The artwork perfectly captures the game's dark fantasy aesthetic, where players control paddles to bounce a sphere and destroy obstacles and enemies. This page provides more details about the game Devilish, known as Bad Omen in Japan, following the striking artwork shown on the previous page. The same dramatic box art featuring the figure and floating structure is displayed prominently. The page presents the game's description and features, highlighting it as a block shooting game with beautiful graphics and realistic sound. The narrative hook mentions controlling a celestial sphere to defeat a dark god, and hints at characters turned into stone pillars. Key gameplay features detailed include 3 types of paddle formations, intense gameplay driven by a stock and time system, and 3 ways to play: single player, time trial, and 2-player co-op. The game also incorporates multiple endings that vary depending on the difficulty level achieved. 2 small screenshots showcase different in-game environments, one appearing dark and organic, the other metallic and complex. The page concludes with the scheduled release date in April, the standard price of 6,800 yen, and the publisher's contact information for Hot B. This page from CryCSK celebrates the success of Galaxy Force 2, which hit the top of Game Magazine rankings, causing sleepless nights for dedicated players. The developers express their sincere gratitude and ask everyone to look forward to their upcoming lineup. Scheduled for release in June is Speedball 2, a futuristic sports game combining the intensity of American football, the technique of basketball, and the strategy of hockey, featuring league play where teams power up as they win. Also in production is Afterburner 2i, coming exclusively to Sega CD, promising to immerse players in thrilling dogfights. Finally, an exciting new original game is in development for this summer. A comical strategy simulation featuring surviving dinosaurs, themed around the natural environment. The developers state they are working hard to deliver these titles, and ask for continued anticipation. This page features large red text that reads, "Sleepless Nights, Kree's Impact," accompanied by a paw print and an image of sleeping dogs. The vertical text explains that these sleepless nights are because the rumored Chris is set to release a succession of major titles. This builds on the success they had last year with Galax. Referring to Galaxy Force 2, the image of the dog sleeping provides a humorous contrast to the theme of excitement causing a lack of sleep, perhaps suggesting players will be too tired to sleep after playing their games, or simply a playful visual pun. The overall message is one of anticipation and excitement for Krisk's future releases following their recent success. This page serves as a promotional feature for the game Glalie Lancer, a story-driven shooting game for the Mega Drive. The main title, Glalie Lancer, is prominently displayed, with the subtitle Advanced Busterhawk above it. The text highlights the game's narrative, described as a genuine story-based shooting game that celebrates the bond between a father and daughter, filled with emotion and passion, offering a genuine smile for Lucia. Key features of Glalie Lancer are listed, including all 11 intense stages, a creative power-up system known as the Gunner system, the ability to fire shots in 16 directions, beautiful visual scenes, powerful and immersive sound, and a moving scenario designed to heighten excitement. The game was scheduled for release in June 1992 on a Mega Drive ROM cartridge, with the price yet to be determined. Developed by Messiah and NCS, the page confirms it is licensed by Sega for use on the Mega Drive. The artwork features a striking cosmic background, with a detailed illustration of the game's spacecraft at the bottom. This page features Magical Girl Silky Lip for the Mega CD, presented as the 4th volume of Lip News. The focus is on introducing Lip's classmates and revealing the game's visual elements. Character profiles are provided for key figures like Lip's teacher, her best friend, and 2 distinctive classmates, offering brief insights into their personalities. The page proudly unveils the game's visual scenes for the first time, highlighting the artwork. It also details the conversation mode, explaining its role in progressing the story by controlling Lip's emotions. A brief staff introduction section is included. The game is scheduled for a March 1992 release on Mega CD, with a tentative price of 7,400 yen, developed by Riot, Telenet Japan. There's also a mention of a fan appreciation gift campaign from Riot. This page showcases arcade hits brought to home consoles by Tengen. Featured prominently are 2 titles for the Sega Mega Drive. On the left is Road Blasters, a high-speed 3D car action game described as having intense speed and power-ups, highlighting its release status as now on sale. On the right is Pit Fighter, a fighting game focusing on raw strength, positioned as the pinnacle of the genre. It emphasizes 2-player simultaneous battles and a variety of moves like punches, kicks, and elbow strikes, with its release scheduled for March 27th. The page also briefly promotes other successful Tengen games available on different platforms, including the PC Engine version of the puzzle game Klax, the Mega Drive version of the driving simulator Hard Drivin', and the Game Gear puzzle game Magical Puzzle Popples. These ports demonstrate Tengen's commitment to bringing popular arcade experiences home. This page introduces the fantasy adventure game Deathbringer, developed by Telenet Japan for the Mega CD. The artwork depicts the 2 main characters, a surprised young man and woman, set against a dark, mystical landscape with a structure on a hill. The text sets the stage for an adventure, describing the protagonist who dreams of becoming a knight and finds himself protecting a village, only for a great evil to strike. The game promises an immersive experience enhanced by the Mega Character's capabilities, featuring visual scenes with character designs by Kazuhiro Ochi and 3D auto-mapping for dungeons and exploration. Combat involves a unique skill system, allowing strategic battles. The game is scheduled for a March 1992 release, with a tentative price of 7,400 yen. The page also highlights a fan appreciation campaign by Telenet's Riot brand, offering various merchandise related to their other titles as prizes. This page showcases the brutal action-adventure game Shadow of the Beast. The dramatic title declares, "Everything is superb," and introduces the protagonist, neither beast nor human, caught in a sad rhapsody after being transformed by an evil entity. The game promises a vast and varied experience, with over 100 monsters, stunning visuals utilizing advanced scrolling techniques, and breathtaking action spread across 6 challenging stages filled with traps and puzzles. It's touted as a high-difficulty game requiring advanced skill, highly recommended for action game fans. Released on March 27 for 8,800 yen on an 8 meters cartridge, it was also slated for a PC Engine SuperCridrom squared release soon after. The page also features a brief advertisement at the bottom for Prince of Persia on Mega CD, highlighting its smooth character animation, dangerous labyrinthine traps, and classic run-and-jump action gameplay, noting its upcoming release. This page proudly announces the upcoming Mega CD release of Cosmic Fantasy Stories, a compilation bringing together Cosmic Fantasy I and Cosmic Fantasy II onto a single disc. Featured prominently are the main characters in dynamic anime-style artwork, a purple-haired girl with a fierce expression, a male character wearing goggles and a confident grin, and an orange-haired girl pointing forward. The game is scheduled for a March release at 7,800 yen. Key features highlighted for this Mega CD version include a completely revamped system for enhanced playability, over 1,500 total visual scenes, speedy battles with no loading times, and a brand new opening animation created specifically for the Mega CD. The page briefly describes the 2 adventures. The first follows Yu, a member of the Cosmic Hunters organization, as he responds to a distress signal and gets involved in a conflict on planet Noog, controlled by the resurrected sorceress Morgan. The second game, Cosmic Fantasy II, Adventure Boy Ban, tells the story of Ban, who returns home to find his village attacked and his friend Rara kidnapped, leading him on a quest involving a powerful pendant. There's also a note about a new brand campaign from the developer Riot, offering original telephone cards as a thank you gift to fans. Eligible products for this campaign include other Riot titles such as Magical Girl Silky Lip, Deathbringer, and Valis on PC Engine. This page showcases 2 upcoming Sega Mega Drive titles from publisher Knuckle. Featured at the top is Musashi no Boken, a historical action game based on the legendary samurai Miyamoto Musashi. The artwork depicts a dynamic, brushstroke style with red accents, fitting the samurai theme. It is listed as a Mega Drive room cartridge, scheduled for release at the end of July, with the price yet to be determined. The bottom half presents Troubleshooter, known as Battle Smash in Japan. Described as a sports entertainer, the page highlights its unique premise, turning ball games into fighting games for true excitement. The colorful artwork features several of the game's distinct characters, including the hero duo Madison and Crystal, alongside various opponents. This is also slated as a Mega Drive room cartridge, with the release date and price still pending. Knuckle emphasizes their commitment to delivering high-quality entertainment with these diverse titles. This page features Telenet Japan's tennis title for the Mega Drive, known internationally simply as Grand Slam. The artwork depicts a triumphant player celebrating victory. The text highlights the game's modes, promising a deep tennis experience. You can create your own original player in player mode, practice your skills for match-like conditions in practice mode, or compete head-to-head in versus mode, which supports singles and doubles matches. The core of the game is the tournament mode, where you can challenge the 4 major world tournaments. Grand Slam was released as a 4 mega cartridge for 6,800 yen, and was scheduled for release in late March. This was Telenet's attempt to capture the excitement of professional tennis on the Mega Drive. This page introduces Buster Ball, a futuristic battle-action sports game for the Sega Game Gear. The striking artwork depicts high-tech hovercraft vehicles engaged in a dynamic match, hinting at fast-paced gameplay. The game is described as the ultimate combat sport, combining elements of battle and sports. The text highlights that Buster Ball offers simple rules, allowing anyone to jump into the action, and features quick matches perfect for gaming on the go. It promises surprising tricks and features to keep the gameplay exciting and varied. Players have flexibility with customizable settings for teams, fields, match time, and game modes. The screenshots show a top-down view of the arena, featuring the vehicles and obstacles. A key feature is the support for 2-player simultaneous matches via link cable, allowing for intense head-to-head competition. Developed by Riverhill Soft, Buster Ball was released on March 20, 1992, priced at 3,800 yen. The April 1992 issue previews upcoming Mega Drive games in a new release scramble, including titles like Glee Lancer and Battle Smash. The Mega Hot Menu, Part 1 highlights popular games such as Turbo Outrun and Crusader of Seni. A special feature investigates potential big news involving Sonic, Sega, and Falcom, possibly even The Sims. The issue includes an emergency scoop on Thunder Force IV and introduces Victor's Wonder Mega. The magazine previews Mega CD releases, like The Heroic Legend of Arslan and Lunar, the Silver Star. Additional content comprises news, reviews, columns, history, Game Gear coverage, a Sonic update, cheat codes, and reader contests. A perfect guide and a Shining Force supplement featuring character images are also included. This page covers upcoming releases and Sega news. The main focus is on the CSG new title presentation, highlighting the influx of new software for the Mega CD and Mega Drive. Anticipated titles include Game Art's RPG Lunar, the Silver Star, and Sega's own tactical RPG Shining Force. User invitation events for these presentations were scheduled in Tokyo, Osaka, and Nagoya in March. Screenshots showcase some expected titles, featuring Dark Wizard and Isle Lord, both for the Mega CD, along with the soon-to-be-released Mega Drive title, Shining Force. Elsewhere, a report details a Shining Force preview event held in February, allowing fans to experience the game before its launch. Another section covers the recent AOU show, an arcade industry event, noting the appearance of sequels to popular video games, including Capcom's leading title, Street Fighter II. The page also reports on Sega's international expansion, specifically establishing Sega Amusement Taiwan Limited and opening a new Sega World Arcade facility in Taiwan, with plans for further expansion there. This page is packed with news and information for Sega fans. First up, legendary composer Yuzo Koshiro, known for his incredible work on titles like The Revenge of Shinobi and Streets of Rage, gave a special lecture at the Human Creative School, sharing insights into his career and the industry. There's also a look at Pony Canyon's peculiar virtual drug software, described as a virtual reality experience with psychedelic visuals set for a March 21st release. The page reports on the recent Macworld Expo, highlighting the growing presence of multimedia games, including Reactor's Spaceship Warlord, and noting the significance of Cladrom support, a key feature for the Mega CD. The B-Mega World TV program is featuring Turbo Outrun this month, keeping fans entertained with gameplay broadcasts. In the realm of audio, several game music creds are highlighted, including releases for Nintendo's Super Famicom, like Captain Commando music, Data East arcade titles, Wolf Fang and Tumblepop, and Falcom's Dragon Slayer, The Legend of Heroes. While not all are Sega-specific, it shows the growing market for game soundtracks. Finally, the page discusses the appearance of a mouse for the Super Famicom and ponders the need for a mouse on game consoles. It points out that the TerraDrive can connect a mouse, though currently only for its PC functions, leading to speculation about future mouse support for the Mega Drive itself. The next page features sales charts for both the Mega Drive and Game Gear. The Mega Drive section, titled Analyze Mega Drive Software Sales Trends, shows the top 10 best-selling games. The analysis notes that despite a rush of Mega CD titles, cartridge games are performing strongly this month, possibly because they've reached users. Leading the Mega Drive chart is Nobunaga's Ambition, Lord of Darkness, a historical strategy game with a cinematic opening, maintaining its first position. Super Fantasy Zone debuts at number 2, praised for inheriting the atmosphere of its predecessor, with a screenshot showing classic scrolling shooter action. Fighting Masters, a fighting game, is at number 3, noted for satisfying the demand for the genre with good character movement, pictured with two fighters facing off. Other notable games include Golden Axe 2, Streets of Rage, and Sonic the Hedgehog, which is still popular and appears again at number 10, shown with a screenshot of Green Hill Zone. Below this, the Research Popular Game Gear Software section presents the top 5 Game Gear sales. Sonic the Hedgehog tops this list, its screenshot showing the familiar gameplay. The text comments that despite being on the Game Gear, the sense of speed is intact and it has original levels, making it a must-buy for fans. Other games in the top 5 include Aerial, Super Monaco GP, and Space Harrier. The accompanying text expresses hope for more consistent Game Gear software releases throughout the year. This page presents 2 key data points from the Mega Drive user community. The top section, User Data, reveals the top 20 games users most want to see ported to the platform. Leading the wishlist at number 1 is Street Fighter II, followed by titles like Record of Lodoss War, Silent Mobius, Princess Maker, and the Final Fantasy series. This section also notes that Data West, known for shooting games, has decided to join the Mega CD scene, indicating a focus on porting popular arcade titles to the new format. Screenshots highlight desired ports like the immersive 3D space shooter Starblade at number 7 and the RPG Saga series at number 19. The bottom section, Shop Data, surveys the current popularity of video games in stores, showing a top 5 list. This list is topped by the light gun arcade hit Terminator 2, which recently appeared in arcades and is generating excitement. Other games in the top 5 include F1 Exhaust Note, Street Fighter II, WWF WrestleMania, published by Tecmo according to this data, and the fighting game Fatal Fury from SNK. The text mentions the recent AOU show, where many new titles were exhibited, suggesting these rankings might see significant changes in the near future due to upcoming releases. This page reveals the user data for the top 20 most anticipated new game releases on the platform. It starts by commenting on the trend of increasing game prices due to larger capacity, but praises Sega's Magical Taruto-kun for bucking the trend with a surprisingly low price point, suggesting that such consumer-friendly pricing is important for the future. The main feature is the top 20 list based on reader surveys. At number 1 is the highly anticipated Mega CD RPG, Lunar. The Silver Star, despite its release being delayed, fans are hoping to get their hands on it around Golden Week. The second spot goes to Shining Force, the second entry in the popular strategy RPG series, noted for being accessible even to newcomers and promising secret characters. Third place is held by the Mega CD title 3x3 Eyes, with users eagerly awaiting the impressive visuals hinted at for later in the game. Ayrton Senna's Super Monaco GP2 takes fourth, though new screenshots couldn't be provided this month. Rounding out the top 5 is Splatterhouse Part 2, presented as an original sequel exclusive to the Mega Drive, continuing the horror adventures of Rick. The list continues with other exciting prospects such as Cosmic Fantasy Stories, Thunder Pro Wrestling Retsuden, Turbo Outrun, Dark Wizard, and Elysia Dragoon, demonstrating the wide variety of genres users are looking forward to. These rankings reflect user excitement based on surveys conducted in February. This document outlines the upcoming software schedules for the Sega Mega Drive and Game Gear consoles. The Mega Drive schedule includes confirmed and estimated release dates for games like ToeJam and Earl and Shining Force 2, along with an undecided list featuring highly anticipated titles such as Lunar, the Silver Star, and Thunder Force IV. The Game Gear schedule features games like Phantasy Star Adventure and Monster World 2, alongside ports of popular titles like Frogger and Alien Storm. The document also hints at the upcoming Mega CD unit, mentioning Thunder Force IV and a potential surprise release. It further teases collaborations between Sega and Falcom, promising exciting upcoming announcements. A legend-defining genre abbreviations is included for reference. Quote, several developers are gearing up for Mega Drive and Mega CD releases. Sega Enterprises leads with the RPG Shining Force, arcade port Turbo Outrun, and ToeJam and Earl. Hot B is releasing the unique shooter Steel Empire. Wolf Team's Ernest Evans nears release, while Nihon Telenet's Cosmic is delayed. Victor Musical Industries presents Beyond Oasis, an action game. Riverhill Soft highlights their Buster Ball series. Sims plans a new title announcement meeting, hinting at 2 Mega CD and several room titles, possibly related to Wi-Fi. Technosoft confirms Thunder Force IV's release. Kaneko Supergirl's Panic faces potential delay. Data West enters the scene with a Klydrom-focused title. Human showcases screenshots for the heroic legend of Arslan, aiming for a summer release. Shieldwave confirms Nostalgia 2, a sequel with modern setting, multiple endings, and voice acting. This page is the BeepMD Race Review section, featuring upcoming Sega Mega Drive games ToeJam and Earl, Shining Force, and A Train, with scores and comments from multiple reviewers. The featured games are ToeJam and Earl, Shining Force, The Legacy of Great Intention, and A Train for Mega Drive. ToeJam and Earl, released March 13th, is described as a funky action game with a unique atmosphere and enjoyable gameplay, earning an average score of 7.25. Shining Force, released March 20th, is praised for its large scale and presentation, though combat pace was mentioned, receiving an average score of 7.75. A Train, Mega Drive, released April 3rd, a port of the PC railway simulation, was found to have difficult controls and real-time track laying issues, leading to a lower average score of 5.0. Various reviewers provide their individual scores and thoughts on each title. The next page continues the BeepMD Race review section, featuring 4 more upcoming Mega Drive titles. We have reviews for Pit Fighter, Turbo Outrun, Slime World, and Thunder Pro Wrestling. Pit Fighter, the digitized arcade fighter port, is noted for its unique look, with characters based on real actors. But reviewers found the small character sprites and lack of flashiness a bit underwhelming, despite some enjoying the violent touches. Turbo Outrun, the sequel, is compared unfavorably to the original, with some finding its gameplay rougher, though it does contain unique elements like rival cars. Slime World is an action game, where you control a slime creature exploring a bizarre world. Reviewers were intrigued by its strange atmosphere and cooperative play, but found the controls sometimes awkward, and the visuals somewhat dull. Finally, Thunder Pro Wrestling, a title from the human brand known for wrestling games, is reviewed. While highly anticipated, critics pointed out the limited roster size and generic character models, noting the gameplay felt somewhat plain compared to other pro wrestling titles, leaving some fans wanting more flash. Overall, the page presents a mixed bag of reviews for these diverse releases. This page continues the BeepMD Race review section, showcasing 4 diverse titles. We look at Art Alive, a drawing software, Shadow of the Beast, an action game ported from other systems, Cosmic Fantasy Stories, a collection of PC Engine CD RPGs, and Phantasy Star Adventure, an adventure game set in the iconic universe. Art Alive, average 5.5, is noted for its drawing capabilities and various tools, but reviewers found the lack of mouse or tablet support awkward, and the inability to save your creations baffling. The screenshot shows a colorful, somewhat whimsical scene. Shadow of the Beast, average 5.75, a graphically impressive title, is criticized for its punishing difficulty, control issues, and combat that lacked impact despite the striking visuals depicted in the cave screenshot. Cosmic Fantasy Stories, average 7.0, featuring character portraits in its screenshot, is praised for its high-quality visual scenes and smooth animation, offering 2% Engine CD RPGs in one package, though the core RPG gameplay was considered somewhat dated. Finally, Phantasy Star Adventure, average 5.5, is an adventure game seen in the screenshot showing a character in a room. Reviewers felt it was a simple, old-style adventure game with somewhat mechanical character interactions, but its release was appreciated given the genre's rarity on the system. This page continues the BeepMD Race review section, featuring 3 distinct game releases alongside editorial commentary. First is Alien Syndrome, a port of the arcade action game. Reviewers found this version faithfully captures the atmosphere and boss characters despite the smaller screen, deeming it the best port compared to other systems. While feeling somewhat dated and having minor issues like a missing timer display, it offers solid, albeit at times chaotic, gameplay. It received an average score of 6.75. Next is Buster Ball, a futuristic mech sports title shown with a top-down view. Reviewers felt the character movement was heavy and controls lacked precision. The gameplay often devolved into repetitive long-pass strategies, lacking the dynamic excitement one might expect. It was rated with an average score of 5.75. Then there is Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap, the Mega Drive/Genesis port of the Game Gear title. Praised for its polished graphics, smooth animation, and strong level design and story, this action RPG successfully blends fast-paced movement with light RPG elements. Despite some minor tedium in collecting money, it was considered a substantial and enjoyable game. It earned an average score of 7.5. Finally, the editorial section discusses notable releases, highlighting games like Shining Force, Toe Jam and Earl, and Pit Fighter. They offer recommendations from the review section, suggesting several titles are worth checking out on both the Mega Drive and Game Gear, noting the overall high quality of games released this month, particularly those scoring 7 or higher. The BeepMD Reader Race ranks and reviews Mega Drive games based on reader votes. This edition's odds table A reveals a major shakeup with Super Fantasy Zone taking the top spot, followed by Tenkafubu Ayutachi no Hukao, pushing Sonic the Hedgehog to 3rd. Other top-ranked games include Warsong, Castle of Illusion, and Streets of Rage. Super Fantasy Zone's impressive presentation and low price earned it a 9.0238 average. Tenkafubu Ayutachi no Hukao, a strategy game, scored 9.0125 for its accessible gameplay. Koei's simulation games, Nobunaga's Ambition, Lord of Darkness and Romance of the Three Kingdoms 2, also featured, with scores of 8.475 and 8.08 respectively, praised for their depth. Wonder Boy 2, Monster Lair, and the New Zealand Story, while enjoyable, received lower scores due to gameplay weaknesses and difficulty. The next page continues the B Mega Reader race from the previous one, showing odds table B, which lists games from rank 31 downwards. Following the rankings, the single horse bet introduction highlights games receiving significant votes or attention. Taiheki, a strategy simulation at rank 37, is praised for its engaging strategy elements and story progression. Further down the list, F1 Circus MD, ranked 48, is noted for having the best sense of speed among racing games on the system, although some find the map design lacking. The new and missed horse bet introduction showcases games that either debuted or fell significantly in the rankings, often with critical reviews. Nakajima Satoru F1 Grand Prix, sitting at rank 89, is criticized despite good visuals, particularly for difficult courses and perceived lack of content. Shogi no Hoshi, way down at rank 128, receives harsh feedback for its adventure mode and packaging, deemed overpriced. Newer CD titles also feature, with Kyushin Woodstock, rank 155, getting panned for its gameplay despite strong visuals and music, and Chao Tushin Ritsuden Dino Land, rank 158, being criticized for its simple pinball design. The odds table B review section mentions Nostalgia 1907 and Rolling Thunder 2 saw significant drops in the rankings, while YS2I, Fastest One, and Forbidden City notably rose. Reader comments touch on desired sequels and opinions on various games. This page features the Stable of Famous Horses, focusing on Namco's unique sports title, Lethal League, WrestleBall. It highlights the game's core appeal, the ability to directly attack opposing players, making it a violent twist on sports. The game supports 1 or 2 players. The reviewer notes that while the concept is fun, especially for stress relief in 2-player mode, the single-player AI can be frustratingly unfair. Reader data shows the game is popular, with many voters participating in the ranking. Reader comments echo the reviewer's points, praising the 2-player fun but criticizing the AI and hoping for improvements or a sequel. The page also continues the B Mega Reader race standings, listing games ranked from 77 downwards in odds table circa. Brief commentary on this table mentions Ernest Evans moving up and Nakajima Satoru F1 Grand Prix debuting lower down, likely due to difficulty. The Proverb of the Month section directly calls for Namco to release a sequel to Lethal League on the Mega CD and consider a reprint of the original. This page features the B Mega Reader race, celebrating its first anniversary, with a look at the current rankings. The major news is that Sonic the Hedgehog has lost the top spot after holding it for 6 months, highlighting the intense competition among the leading titles like World of Illusion, Lethal League, Shining in the Darkness, Warsong, and Advanced Daisen Ryaku. The lower ranks are also tracked in odds table D, where games like Cars and Sword of Sodan are noted for their upward movement, while Rastan 2 maintains a steady position. The editorial commentary emphasizes the volatile nature of the rankings throughout the list. Reader participation is a key part of the feature, with contests inviting predictions on the debut rank of Joe Montana, 2 Sports Talk Football, and the average score of the upcoming Solfis. The magazine is also recruiting new readers to join the ranking race by submitting their game reviews and predictions. The overall takeaway is a dynamic and competitive ranking landscape across the entire list. This page announces the arrival of Thunder Force IV on the Mega Drive, breaking a 2-year silence from the acclaimed series developed by Technosoft. Following the events of Thunder Force 2-1, the Orn Empire was thought to be defeated after the destruction of their main computer and the system Chaos. However, the Empire persists, powered by a terrifying new self-replicating system named Vios, which is even stronger than Chaos. The Galactic Federation must now develop a new fighter to confront this renewed threat. Thunder Force IV continues as a horizontal scrolling shooter, expanding on the foundation of its predecessor. A major highlight is the graphical enhancement, creating a greater sense of depth with enemies emerging from the background and multi-speed scrolling layers in the environment. The game boasts a significant 11 stages, structured into a two-part scenario. Screenshots showcase the challenging gameplay and detailed visuals. The article emphasizes that the game is designed to be accessible and enjoyable for both dedicated fans of the series and those new to Thunder Force. This page delves further into Thunder Force IV, focusing on the significant improvements over previous entries. It highlights the enhanced controls, stating maximum effort was put into their development, including the adoption of free vertical scrolling and better item display, indicating a major step up from Thunder Force 2 and 2i. A key feature discussed is the power-up system, featuring an array of items designed to help players overcome the challenging enemy movements, which have also been significantly improved. The article contrasts the item presentation in IV with the top-down view of 2 and the side view of 2i, noting that IV retains the side view, but enhances the item system substantially, suggesting a level up for the game itself. Interestingly, the article addresses the decision to release Thunder Force IV on a ROM cartridge rather than CryDROM, explaining it was to ensure fans of the previous games, Thunder Force 2 and 2i, could easily play the new title. Finally, an interview with developer Mr. Arai reveals that roughly half the development staff are new, bringing fresh ideas. He speaks of wanting to achieve things not possible before, boosting the cartridge size to 8 meters to enhance graphics and music, and making the game enjoyable for a wider audience, while still appealing to series veterans. He encourages players to see the results of the increased capacity for themselves. Screenshots throughout the page showcase the enhanced visuals and gameplay, including item pickups and detailed environments. This page features a new release scramble, highlighting several upcoming and recent games for the system. The main focus is on Kid Chameleon, presented as a new foreign game arriving on the MegaDrive/Genesis market. The article describes it as a side-scrolling action game where you play as Kid, navigating levels, destroying blocks to collect items, and dealing with enemies, often by jumping on them. The core unique mechanic is the transformation system, where collecting specific items grants Kid different combat suits, altering his abilities. Examples given include Red Stealth with a sword attack, Berserker with a charge, and Iron Knight, who can climb walls like a ninja. These transformations are essential, as some parts of the game require specific forms to proceed. The game's setting is revealed to be a futuristic, realistic hologram amusement park called Gaining Land, where an incident draws Kid in. Screenshots showcase the gameplay, including Kid transforming, using the tank form, and climbing walls. Other titles mentioned include Thunder Pro Wrestling Retsuden, Glee Lancer, Art Alive, Shura no Mon, King Salmon, Grand Slam, Satoru Nakajima F1 Hero MD, Battle Smash, Tenku Retsuden Musashi, Magical Taruto-kun, Twinkletail, and Chernov. The reviewer seems particularly interested in Kid Chameleon's transformation mechanic and its blend of familiar action game elements with an American flair, noting the controls are less slippery than similar Japanese titles. This page dives into Thunder Pro Wrestling Retsuden from Human, which was listed on the previous page, set to release on March 27th for 7,400 yen. The article highlights the enduring appeal of professional wrestling and notes this game marks Human's entry into the genre on the Mega Drive. It draws comparisons to other wrestling games, mentioning its distinct roster and variety of moves. The game features a lineup of 12 unique wrestlers. The review points out fan favorites like Great Hanagata and Emperor Ken, known for their strength and signature moves like the axe kick. More eccentric characters are mentioned, such as the sumo wrestler Mr. Yokozuna and King Senyoru King, whose designs alone are appealing. The top recommendation from the reviewer is Masked Hell, described as a messenger from hell whose presence embodies what a true wrestler is, even noting his background is reminiscent of a heavy metal band. Screenshots showcase some of the moves you can perform, including a backdrop and a dropkick, although one screenshot showing a hold is incorrectly labeled as a Western lariat. The page also displays the character portraits for all 12 wrestlers featured in the game, reinforcing the diverse roster available. This page features two distinct titles. First, we have Grey Lancer from Messiah, a horizontal scrolling shooter planned for early summer. This game stands out with its gunner system, offering strategic weapon customization through various modules picked up in stages, adding depth beyond standard shooting action. It's noted for having a compelling story centered on the main character, Lucy, and her father, complete with numerous visual scenes. The game's memorable catchphrase is, "Father, don't die." Screenshots display different gunner modes like laser, burner, and saber. Below is Art Alive from Sega, releasing on March 27th. This is a creative software application rather than a typical game. Designed to make drawing accessible to everyone, even novices, it features a simple, intuitive toolbox interface. Users can utilize drawing templates and character stamps, including popular ones like Sonic, to easily create artwork. Screenshots show the user interface and examples of drawings made with the tool. This page features 3 upcoming titles. First up is Sega's Shura no Man, a fighting simulation game set for a July release. It's described as having rich visuals and pushing the limits of the 8 meters cartridge size. The game boasts an extensive opening demo exceeding 3 minutes and includes a password system for saving progress. The article questions if it's the industry's first karate SLG. Below that is King Salmon from Hot B, releasing on July 17th. This unique fishing game simulation tasks players with piloting a motorboat to locate king salmon. Once a fish is hooked, the game transitions into a real-time fighting sequence, complete with thrilling events like the salmon jumping. The goal is to reel in the titular fish. Finally, Nihon Telenet presents Grand Slam, a tennis game expected in April. This title supports 1 or 2 players for singles or doubles matches. It offers exhibition, a global circuit mode for tournaments, and a training mode. A standout feature is the detailed player creation system, allowing customization of name, clothing, dominant arm, and footwork. This page features 3 upcoming titles for the Mega Drive. First up is Nakajima Satoru F1 Hero MD from Palette, scheduled for a late April release. This is presented as a 3D iteration of the previous F1 Grand Prix game, aiming for enhanced realism. It includes standard racing modes like World Championship and Time Attack, with the latter supporting 2 players. The game features tracks from the '91 Grand Prix season, plus original circuits. The reviewer notes the realistic feel and the ability to distinguish rivals by their portraits on the selection screen. Below that is Battle Smash, tentative name, by Kaneko, with its release date and price yet to be determined. Described as a fighting/sports hybrid, the core gameplay involves hitting a ball like in tennis, but also being able to directly attack your opponent. The objective seems to be scoring by hitting the ball or defeating the opponent. The reviewer finds the concept unique, but wonders about the balance between hitting the ball and just fighting. Screenshots show gameplay and a large boss creature, highlighting the detailed graphics. Finally, Tenku Retsuden Musashi, tentative name, also by Kaneko, is an action game slated for late July. Inspired by classic Japanese period dramas where a hero defeats evil officials, this game expands the concept by including monsters alongside human foes. The setting and enemies are apparently tailored for a younger audience. Screenshots depict the protagonist engaging both human opponents and a formidable dragon boss. This page features 3 upcoming titles for the Mega Drive. First up is Magical Taruto-kun from Sega, an action game set for release on April 24th. Priced at 3,880 yen, it's noted as being 75% complete. The system uses a life bar and remaining lives, with Taruto utilizing magic and items like the sword pen. The game includes voice acting from the anime cast and BGM from the show. Screenshots show boss battles, a classroom scene, and character portraits. The low price is highlighted as a significant positive. Next is Atomic Runner Chelnov for the Mega Drive by Data East. Still lacking a release date and price, this action title aims to be a faithful port of the arcade game, despite changes in graphics. It retains the core gameplay, enemy AI, and strategy, which should please fans of the original. The story sees the hero Chelnov setting out to rescue Kemi, who has been kidnapped by Destalion. Screenshots show Chelnov battling various enemies and large bosses. Finally, Twinkletail by Was is an action shooter scheduled for June 26th at 7,800 yen. The backstory involves a peaceful floating world called Alfirion, disrupted by war after a magic user gains forbidden knowledge. The game features 8 stages of action shooting gameplay, with impressive large bosses and detailed backgrounds. Screenshots provide a glimpse of the opening demo, gameplay, and a fierce 3-headed dragon boss. This page features the BeepMD Reader Corner, where readers share their thoughts on various topics. The main discussion centers around the Sega Game Library System, a service for downloading games. Readers offer several suggestions for its improvement. One reader from eHime suggests upgrading the system's RAM cartridge to support larger games, including those for the Mega CD. They also propose adding a queue and a section for Sega to answer reader questions and establishing a system for submitting data. Another reader from Ibaraki lists specific game-related requests, like adding scenarios for strategy games, enabling data output for certain titles, making new software available early, and offering older classic games like Flicky. Further suggestions include using the game library as a database for accessing real-time game data, such as variable enemy stats in RPGs, or the latest engine data for racing games. A reader from Okayama expresses concern about the system's future and proposes making past Mega Drive and Mega CD titles, clarifying that CD titles aren't currently included, available for download, similar to the Famicom Disk System's rewrite service, perhaps at a reduced price. The overall sentiment is a desire for Sega to enhance the game library and make more software available. The page also announces the theme for reader submissions in the next issue: what readers want to see in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. This page is the Game Itai Hudai section of BeepMD, where readers voice their opinions on various games. Readers share their thoughts on several titles. Super Fantasy Zone is praised for its cute, egg-shaped character and enjoyable stage design, item system, and high degree of freedom, making it highly replayable. There are comments on Sega CD games and the game library, noting the lack of personal names in sports titles like Tecmo Super Bowl, which is seen as a drawback, and questioning the difficulty of some games like Donald in Maui Mallard, despite its quality. A helpful strategy guide is provided for defeating Galbalon in YS2 I Wanderers from YS, detailing the required items and attack method. The lower part of the page features reader-submitted illustrations depicting characters from games such as 3x3 Eyes, Polyrula and Knight, Nostalgia 1907, Puyo Puyo, and Elysia Dragoon. A brief Q&A section addresses why some game cases are small, explaining they are shared with Famicom cases, and touches upon the bank system. This page presents the Gamers Who Want to Speak Out section, featuring reader feedback and opinions on Mega Drive games and the console itself. Readers discuss the PC Engine version of YSIV, wishing for a Mega Drive release, and pondering the fate of characters like Adal and Lilith. They question why popular series aren't developed for consoles. The conversation shifts to Mega Drive's graphics, comparing them favorably to older systems like the FM7, while acknowledging platforms like the X68000 and Super Famicom have advantages in color depth. Super Fantasy Zone's graphics are highlighted as an example. Suggestions are made for potential Mega CD titles, including Star Wars and Captain EO, envisioning them with full motion video. There's a strong opinion that the Mega Drive lacks sufficient quality RPGs compared to the PC Engine, which is seen as dominating that genre. Readers express a desire for more diverse software, including easier action games to attract newcomers, and a stronger library of RPGs to compete effectively. The future success of the Mega Drive is tied to expanding its genre offerings beyond just core gamer action titles. The bottom of the page features reader-submitted illustrations depicting characters from games such as Disney's Aladdin, Deathbringer, Kawari no the Castle, Chelnov, Atomic Runner, and Donald in Maui Mallard. This page features BeepMD, a section where readers share their observations, often humorous, about games and related media, with editorial commentary. One reader points out a resemblance between a real-life Freak 1 photo and the package art for the Japanese game Nakajima Satoru Freak 1 Grand Prix. The editor agrees there are similarities but notes discrepancies. Another reader finds a connection between the monkey character in Toki, known as Juju Densetsu in Japan, and Darwin's theory of evolution, which the editor appreciates as a clever observation. Screenshots from Splatterhouse 2 spark comparisons to horror movies and anime. A reader suggests a face in the game resembles a character from A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child, while another figure is likened to Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. The editor is amused by the Frieza comparison. Finally, discussion turns to the package art for the strategy game Advanced Daisen Ryaku, where a reader notices that Joseph Stalin, depicted alongside Hitler, strongly resembles the Japanese actor Masao Okada. The editor confirms the historical figure's past likeness to the actor, finding the pairing noteworthy. This month's BeepMD Focus section is highlighted for its collection of lighthearted, funny topics. The winner of the monthly prize is the reader who pointed out a similar resemblance in a Sangokushi game illustration. This page features the BeepMD section, opening with a humorous 4-panel comic strip titled M.D. Coon Theater, where the protagonist struggles with the need for more RAM for his Mega CD system. The Apologies from the March issue section addresses corrections made in previous articles, specifically noting errors regarding comments on the Genesis port of Portopia Renzoku Satsujin Jiken, a photo caption in the article about Troubleshooter, Battlemania, and a reversed image in the introduction to Lunar, the Silver Star for Mega CD. Details are provided on how readers can submit contributions to BeepMD, with categories for general game opinions, feedback for the game industry, interesting anecdotes for BeepMD Focus, reader questions, complaints, and illustrations. The winners for the February issue's presents are announced, listing recipients by prefecture for various prizes associated with games like Tenkafubu, Joe Montana 2, The Comeback, Phantasy Star Adventure, and others. The magazine submission address is also provided. Additionally, the winners for this month's BeepMD prize, either a game or book voucher, are noted at the bottom. Sega Falcom, a partnership between Sega and Japan Falcom, is steadily progressing, according to an interview with marketing director Kazutaka Yano. The collaboration aims to revitalize the Mega Drive market. Focused on Mega CD software, they're developing around 9 titles, including major projects and internal projects. The company, formed in July of the previous year and staffed since late 1992, currently has 16 staff members, with 10 dedicated to development. Sega Falcom anticipates releasing 4 to 5 titles by March of the next year. While specific titles remain unannounced, the company is actively planning and developing, with potential announcements expected within the next 1 to 2 months. Readers are asked for patience as the new company works towards meeting expectations. This page, from an unspecified source, showcases communication between Sega Falcom and its fans. The S.F hotline offers a seasonal greeting. Readers enthusiastically request Mega CD ports of games like YS2, Popful Mail, and Dragon Slayer, The Legend of Heroes, with specific feature suggestions. Sega Falcom acknowledges the influx of port requests, thanking fans for their passion and assuring them they are working hard to meet expectations, but reflecting every suggestion is difficult. They ask for patience. A scoop section features a photo of Sega Falcom's marketing director with baseball player Tatsunori Hara. The page concludes by inviting readers to submit more letters to Sega Falcom. This page features a column titled Trend of TV Game Market by Jam Ojisan, who shares his perspective on the current state of the industry. He discusses the Mega CD, noting that despite its initial impact, it seems to be in a holding pattern, awaiting truly groundbreaking software titles to drive its adoption. The author points out a lack of significant movement from major overseas software developers for the platform. Highlighted is the upcoming Mega CD title, Seima Densetsu 3x3 Eyes, based on a popular manga and video series, which is highly anticipated by readers, and is planned for an October release, with artwork and screenshots showing its RPG nature. The column also analyzes the success of the Barcode Battler toy, attributing its appeal to its simple concept, use of everyday items via barcodes, and the blend of randomness and player creativity, suggesting that competitive game design allowing user ingenuity could be a promising direction for the Mega CD. Images show the Barcode Battler unit and various character/item cards. This page is an advertisement for Santa, a Sega specialty store, presenting their catalog of hardware and software. It showcases a wide array of games and accessories for the Mega Drive, Mega CD, Game Gear, and even the Mark II-I/Master System. The store highlights Santa's recommended new releases top 10, including games like Shining Force, Elysia Dragoon, and Shadow of the Beast, alongside a list of 20 best hits. Beyond console and handheld software, they also list peripherals for each system and even import titles. The page serves as a comprehensive price list and mail order guide for dedicated Sega fans looking to expand their game libraries across multiple platforms. This page is an advertisement for GameBank, presented as a mail-order service offering a wide selection of games. The headline emphasizes their low prices as a way for everyone to enjoy gaming, particularly targeting students graduating or advancing school years. The page features lists of games primarily for the Super Famicom and Famicom, including notable titles like SD Gundam X, Grey Battalion, Last Fighter Twin, Contra 2-1s, The Alien Wars, and various sports and RPGs. It highlights special member prices and offers the Super Famicom console itself. The bottom section provides detailed instructions on how to place orders, accepted payment methods, shipping fees, and contact information, including an address in Tokyo and a map to their physical store location. There's also a small call for mascot illustrations. Overall, it functions as a comprehensive catalog and ordering guide for customers looking to purchase games via mail. This page acts as a comprehensive mail-order catalog from GameBank, promising next-day delivery for pre-ordered games on their release date. The main focus is on Sega Mega Drive and Mega CD titles, featuring a wide array of popular releases like Shining Force, Wonder Boy in Monster World 2-1, The Revenge of Shinobi, Ghouls and Ghosts, Thunder Force 2i, Toe Jam and Earl, Shadow of the Beast, and Mega CD hits such as Lunar and Rise of the Dragon. Beyond Sega, the catalog also includes sections for PC Engine/Super CD-ROM and Super Famicom games, listing major titles like Far East of Eden 2, Fighting Street, Parodius Da, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, Contra 2-1, The Alien Wars, Super Mario World, Dragon Quest V, Final Fantasy V, and Street Fighter II, among many others. Prices are clearly listed, often indicating special member discounts. A unique feature is the phone consultation service advertised at the bottom. For a fee of 40 yen per minute, you can call to get advice on avoiding bad software and learn about recommended games based on expert opinions and store data, helping you make informed purchase decisions. The service updates its information 3 times a month. This page presents a comprehensive mail-order catalog covering multiple platforms, giving gamers a chance to order the latest and greatest titles directly. They've got everything from Nintendo's Super Famicom and Original Famicom to Sega's Mega Drive and Mega CD, plus the PC Engine, Game Boy, Game Gear, and even Neo Geo. Looking through the lists, you can find classics like The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, and Street Fighter II for Super Famicom, priced around 6,000 yen, 7,000 yen. On the Mega Drive side, they offer Shining Force for 5,650 yen, Turbo Outrun at 3,900 yen, and various titles available for under 3,000 yen. The Mega CD lineup features games like Cosmic Fantasy II and Ernest Evans. PC Engine fans aren't left out, with systems like the CoreGraph X2 and Duo available, alongside games like Parodius Da and YS2i, Wanderers from YS for the Cairndrum system. Even portable gamers are covered with Game Boy titles like Metroid 2 and Game Gear hits like Fantasy Zone Gear. And then there's the premium Neo Geo section, featuring fighting games like Sengoku and Fatal Fury, albeit at the expected higher price points, often over 15,000 yen. Ordering seems straightforward. Call to check stock and price, then send payment via postal transfer. They mention prices include tax and can fluctuate with market conditions. It's a solid resource for getting your hands on a wide variety of games from across the console spectrum. This page dives into Turbo Outrun, Sega's high-speed sequel to the original classic. It's presented as part of the B Mega Hot Menu series, highlighting new or notable games. This time, the race takes you across America, emphasizing pure speed, with the addition of a turbo-equipped F40-style car. The article points out that the game ramps up the racing action by introducing rivals and even pursuing police cars, elements not present in the original. You can also tune up your vehicle, adding another layer to the experience. Visually, the page features a map showing the cross-country route and several small screenshots showcasing the diverse locations you'll race through, from cityscapes like New York and Chicago to more scenic routes like the Grand Canyon and Los Angeles. There's a section detailing 15 specific courses, giving a brief description of the challenges or features of each, like tight corners, slopes, or obstacles, reinforcing the game's focus on varied racing environments. It's clearly positioned as a faster, more competitive evolution of the Outrun formula. This guide to Turbo Outrun details strategies for navigating its challenging courses, categorized by their dominant feature: curves or obstacles. Curve-heavy courses require memorization of turn positions and angles, with a focus on controlled speed and careful driving. Examples include New York and Pittsburgh. Obstacle-heavy courses highlight hazards like drums, signs, and other vehicles, emphasizing the need to avoid crashes. St. Louis and San Antonio are cited as examples. General tips include using turbo aggressively from the start, strategically on straightaways, and immediately after a spin. Mastering turbo management, avoiding overheat, and obstacle avoidance, along with cornering skills, is the key to success in this high-speed race. This page provides a strategy guide for Turbo Outrun, detailing different course types and environmental factors. The guide categorizes courses into 4 main terrains: straight, hill or slope, curve, and the environmental condition of sunset. For straight courses like New York or Miami, the advice is simple. Keep the turbo engaged and drive as fast as possible while avoiding other vehicles. Hill courses, such as Indianapolis, are highlighted for their challenge, particularly when uphill sections are immediately followed by curves. While elevation changes don't significantly affect driving mechanics, mastering these combined sections is crucial. Weather is presented as a critical factor affecting visibility. Rain significantly reduces visibility, making driving challenging and often requiring players to rely on instinct. Snow, surprisingly, is noted as having less impact on visibility than rain, and importantly, it does not cause the road surface to become slippery, allowing aggressive turbo use. Sunset conditions also impair visibility as the light fades, and the intense red sky can even cause eye strain. The guide also emphasizes curve mastery, advising players to memorize the location and angle of each curve to time deceleration correctly. A specific technique involves listening for the tire squeal as a cue to brake, and using engine braking for faster recovery. It suggests braking while keeping the accelerator pressed for better control. The page concludes with a screenshot of the game's congratulatory high-score screen. This page focuses on the exciting shooter Elysia Dragoon. The article highlights the game's unique features, such as the all-range automatic targeting and the OPM option monster system, where Elysia is accompanied by powerful creature partners. It dismisses the idea that it's just another pretty girl shooting game, praising its flashy visuals and fast pace. The guide specifically delves into Stage 3, which takes place on the massive giant floating life ship Saturn. It notes the ship's significant durability and advises players to be mindful of their option monster's energy when attacking, suggesting a rhythmic approach rather than simply blasting away. The boss of this stage is introduced as Gadimubil, a parasitic creature residing on the Saturn. While Gadimubil itself isn't deemed overly strong, it's protected by parasitic cannons called labia. The strategic tip given is to focus on destroying the labia first before tackling the main boss. The page includes screenshots showing Elysia navigating the intricate structure of the Saturn and facing the Gadimubil boss fight, alongside character artwork of Elysia herself. It's clear this is a game that expects players to think strategically about their attacks and resources. This guide delves into Elysia Dragoon, beginning with Stage 4. Elysia in the Deep Valley. Players face a challenging descent into a treacherous valley, battling diverse enemies with a focus on strategic OPM use, particularly Thunderbird and Burning Sphere. The Stage 4 boss is the giant winged dragon Yardit, requiring players to evade its fire breath and exploit its weakness, attacking its mouth before it launches firebombs. Stage 5 presents an underground labyrinth exploration, a fiery maze with relentless enemy attacks. The final stage, detailed Stage 6, Infiltration, Mechanical Fortress, introduces a sci-fi setting with robots and zombies, signifying a significant increase in difficulty and the beginning of the real game. This page features a strategy guide for Shadow of the Beast on the Mega Drive/Genesis, specifically the second part covering the castle area. It follows up on the previous guide which covered the deep cave. The guide emphasizes navigating the treacherous castle, starting with acquiring the torch found outside the entrance, essential for seeing inside. The main content provides navigation tips using a map-like representation of the stage layout, with a suggested route highlighted. It also details specific objectives and items. Section 1 focuses on finding a wrench early in the stage, hinting at its later use. Section 2 discusses the importance of health recovery items, medicine, noting there are only 2 in this stage, and warns about dangerous, fast-moving enemies like those wielding axes and sickles. Several screenshots accompany the text, showing the player character, grotesque enemies, platforming challenges, and item locations within the castle environment. The guide stresses caution due to the intensity of enemy attacks in this part of the game. This page continues the strategy guide for Shadow of the Beast, covering the latter part of the castle stage. It highlights crucial items and challenges. First, it details finding the flying tool, or projectile weapon, stating it's the most important item in this area and allows for unlimited shots. Next, it explains how to use the wrench found earlier, from the previous stage or earlier in the castle, to remove a deadly barrier blocking progress. 2 one-point advice sections offer tips. One warns about a tough area with axe-throwing enemies, advising players to find safe spots. The other explains how using the wrench in a specific location can prevent enemies from appearing. The guide then covers the final boss of this stage, a large dragon-like creature, It notes the boss's weak point is deep inside its body, requiring players to get close. Strategies involve dodging its fire breath with vertical jumps and attacking its core. Finally, the page discusses moving to the next stage, emphasizing that defeating the boss isn't enough. The key obtained previously is essential. It mentions the next stage changes gameplay, disabling jumping but allowing free vertical movement, and warns of even tougher enemies despite keeping the projectile item. This page features a review of Todd's Adventures in Slime World, an action game ported from the Atari Lynx by Microworld. Released on March 27 for 6,800 yen, this American-developed game is described as a unique, slimy adventure, unlike typical Japanese titles. The core gameplay involves exploring a dangerous alien planet, filled with monsters within 6 distinct cave scenarios, aiming to retrieve jewels. The game supports 1 or 2 players simultaneously, with the screen splitting for co-op or competitive exploration. It offers a password system to continue progress through the challenging environments. The page also includes a brief explanation of the Atari Lynx itself, highlighting its origin as an American portable console with a color LCD and unique sound features for its time. It notes the Lynx supported communication capabilities, allowing for multiplayer experiences with up to 8 players in exploration or dogfighting modes, a feature utilized in Slime World. While not hugely popular in Japan, the Lynx had a dedicated fanbase in America due to its distinctive games. This page details controls, items like the Slime Shield and Mega Bomb, and tips for the easy scenario in Todd's Adventures in Slime World, emphasizing item use and the danger of red slime. Uncharted Waters is a 16th-century sea trade and adventure simulation game. Players, starting as a young protagonist, navigate the age of discovery by buying and selling goods for profit. The game stresses building funds initially in the Mediterranean Sea using a Latin ship, before venturing across the Atlantic. Avoiding pirates and prioritizing trade over combat is recommended early on. Lisbon, Seville, and Marseille are key starting ports. Lisbon, the Portuguese capital, offers essential provisions like water and food, and local trade goods like sugar and weapons. Seville, the Spanish capital, provides access to advanced shipbuilding. Marseille serves as a resupply point. Each port sells common trade goods like olive oil, wine, and weapons, plus unique items such as telescopes, sextants, and charms. The game's map and port graphics are shown in screenshots. This page continues the discussion of the classic simulation game, Uncharted Waters, focusing on several key ports in the Mediterranean. Genoa is described as a place not holding much in the way of goods itself, but it's excellent for selling art, suggesting players should acquire art in Constantinople and bring it here for profit. Naples is highlighted for its special product, wool, which is apparently rare and valuable in the Mediterranean, and it's also a good spot to sell art. Constantinople, the Islamic capital, is presented as the definitive source for art, emphasizing its importance for trade routes, though the text notes that ships like the Latin ship cannot carry much cargo, making art the primary focus for profit here. Tunis is mentioned as a relatively minor port in Africa, primarily useful for resupply early in the game due to its limited trade goods. The page also points out the significance of certain items like the telescope, explaining that purchasing one allows players to discover new, previously hidden ports just by sailing near the coast. Finally, it shows off some related publications from Koei, including a guidebook and novels expanding on the game's world. This page is a dynamic feature from Taito, highlighting their lineup of Sega Mega Drive games from 1990. It captures the exhilarating shift from a mundane existence to the vibrant world of gaming, embodied by a striking visual metaphor and compelling text. The page showcases key arcade ports that brought Taito's legendary experiences home, including the charming platformer The New Zealand Story, the hard-hitting boxing simulation Final Blow, the action-packed Nastar Warrior, Rastan Saga 2, the classic Resurrected in Space Invaders 90, the colorful bubble-bursting adventure Rainbow Islands, and the epic side-scrolling shooter Darius 2. It's a bold statement challenging players to embrace the excitement of the Mega Drive with Taito. This page continues Taito's dynamic presentation, following up on their declaration of bringing arcade excitement to the Sega Mega Drive. The striking visual of a figure combined with the text exclaiming, "Yeah, it's starting!" captures the energy of new releases hitting the platform. Under the banner of this month's hit titles, the page showcases 7 Taito games released throughout 1991. These include the classic spatial puzzler Volfight, the aerial shooter Fire Mustang, the fantasy action title Saint Sword, the intense brawler Thunder Fox, and the scrolling shooter Master of Weapon. It also features the lesser-known action game Lunarark and the unique title Mao Renjishi. The page lists the release date and price for each game, highlighting Taito's significant output for the Mega Drive during this year, bringing a diverse range of arcade experiences home for players. This page delves into the gritty world of Pit Fighter on the Sega Mega Drive. It highlights the game's unique visual style, which uses digitized graphics for characters, a faithful recreation of the arcade original. The reviewer notes that, while the characters might seem slightly small, it doesn't detract much from the experience, praising the smooth character movements and varied techniques. The page features character profiles for Buzz, Tai, and Kato, showcasing their fighting styles like Buzz's pile driver, Tai's flying kick, and Kato's combo punch. It covers basic controls for punching, kicking, and jumping, and mentions that pressing multiple buttons performs more complex attacks. It also details the options screen, allowing players to adjust difficulty, game mode, including a practice mode, sound, and language, Japanese or English. A feature allowing handicaps to balance player skill is also mentioned as a welcome addition. Screenshots illustrate moves like lifting an opponent, defending, flying kicks, and combo punches, giving a clear look at the game's action. This page focuses on the gameplay mechanics and opponents in Pit Fighter. It explains that the main competition consists of 10 rounds, where you select one of the 3 main fighters. Winning matches earns you bonuses, including the Cruel Act allowance. A key element is the power drug, represented by a P item found in drums and boxes. This drug dramatically boosts your power, doubling the damage you inflict and halving the damage you receive, making it absolutely essential to grab when available, as the opponent gaining it is disastrous. The page also highlights the grudge match, which occurs every 2 rounds. In this mode, you either face a copy of your own character in single player or challenge the second player, with victory achieved by winning 3 rounds, again earning the Cruel Act bonus. It serves as a practice mode variation. Additionally, the page introduces several of the game's formidable opponents, detailing their unique fighting styles and characteristics, such as the Executioner's piledrivers, Southside Jim's powerful punches, Angel's acrobatic aerial attacks, Chainman Eddie's grappling moves, Heavy Metal's use of weapons, and Mad Miles' dirty fighting tactics, each requiring different strategies to overcome. The fearsome Masked Warrior is also featured, awaiting your challenge. A-Train MD for the Sega Mega Drive is a port of the PC simulation game, boasting 5 maps with varying difficulty. Players manage a railway company, tasked with a year-long mission set by the president. Simplified operations involve directly controlling the A-Train for construction, while passenger and freight trains follow preset schedules. Success depends on strategic planning rather than direct train operation. Players utilize the A-Train for building, the passenger train for income, and freight trains for supplying materials. The primary objective is safely transporting the presidential train. Accidents are a significant risk. Crashing the A-Train or the presidential train results in immediate failure. Accidents with other trains incur compensation costs, potentially leading to bankruptcy. This page continues the guide for A-Train MD, focusing on the crucial aspects of laying tracks and managing your finances to avoid bankruptcy. Given the modest starting capital of $100,000, building the entire transcontinental railway from the outset is impossible. The primary objective shifts to earning money, which is achieved solely through passenger trains initially. Strategic track laying involves placing stations near towns to maximize ridership and income, while keeping lines efficient rather than unnecessarily long or complex, as complex layouts can lead to signal issues. Beware of bankruptcy, as it means game over. Nearly every action, from laying tracks and building stations to changing points and running trains, fuel costs, incurs expenses. Even inaction results in taxes. Since early income relies solely on passenger fares, being frugal is essential. Constantly monitor the report screen to track your finances. Bankruptcy occurs if your funds are negative at midnight, although you have until then to turn things around. To make a profit, start by connecting towns with passenger lines and building stations. Focus on this initial network and wait for the towns to grow, which naturally increases passenger numbers and income. Once your income consistently exceeds expenses, that's the time to strategically extend your railway network. Screenshots illustrate town development leading to increased income and the vital financial report screen for tracking progress, along with examples of track layouts and the bankruptcy screen. This page continues the History of TV Games series, diving into significant arcade titles. It first revisits Atari's iconic Breakout, discussing its evolution from earlier mechanical games like slots and bingo, highlighting how it built upon the foundations of games like Pong and spearheaded arcade development. The article then focuses on Exidy's 1977 game, Circus. It details the gameplay where players use a seesaw to bounce characters and pop balloons, noting the game's use of the MAS 6502 CPU. The reviewer points out the immense popularity of Circus and how it spawned numerous imitations in Japan by various companies, including Taito's Acrobat, Sega's Seesaw Jump, Universal's Circus, Nichibutsu's Bonpa, and Deco's Seesaw Game. They particularly note Deco's distinctive practice of often adding game to their titles. Visuals include screenshots of Breakout and Circus gameplay, along with images of arcade hardware like circuit boards and a Bonpa cabinet. This page continues the history of video games. Moving from the early block-breaking era, we see screenshots of IPM's Nyankoro, featuring comical cat and mouse characters in fast-paced gameplay, and Exidy's Trampoline, an evolution of Circus using trampolines to bounce characters. The text also discusses Super Breakout, the sequel to the original, introducing new block configurations. The page then touches on IPM's unique Mahjong game, which awkwardly combined Mahjong rules with block breaking, noted by the reviewer as difficult to play and lacking polish. Critically, the legendary Space Invaders by Taito is introduced, described as a massive hit that appeared during the peak of block-breaking games, quickly overshadowing other developments. Images show arcade cabinets for Taito's Field Goal, a football-themed block breaker, IPM's Zunzun block, where a windmill pushes blocks, and Nintendo's comical Monkey Magic. The page highlights how even after Space Invaders, variations of block-breaking games like these continued to emerge. There's also a brief mention and photo of Atari's VSC home system packaged as a table game. This page continues the historical look at video games. It highlights Sankyo's Castle Take, presented as a dynamic and orthodox evolution of the block-breaking genre. Released after Space Invaders, it notably used the same 8080 CPU, but boasted 3 times the RAM, 192 kilobits, enabling detailed graphics showing a castle being progressively built and destroyed. The reviewer sees this as a significant step. Following this, the page introduces Pyramid, also from Sankyo, and considered a sibling title. This game incorporates a pyramid-shaped obstacle that grows with score, making later gameplay extremely challenging, described by the reviewer as death only. Screenshots show this escalating pyramid and a striking graphic of a Tutankhamun face which appears. The text mentions hidden bonuses like touching walls to turn them red, revealing a phantom eagle. A photo of the game's circuit board is included, noting its impressive 32.4 kilobit dynamic RAM chips for the era. Finally, the page briefly touches on Gibi, an early arcade game by Namco. The reviewer describes it as a difficult autoplay breakout variation with a large board, likening it to Taito's Safari. Screenshots of GB show a more traditional paddle and block setup. This page features a fascinating historical look, starting with a diagram illustrating the profound influence of Breakout on the arcade industry, showing its lineage leading to titles like Space Invaders and Arkanoid. The chart maps development and sequels, indicating hardware and software evolution and the scale of each game's impact. The text delves deeper into Namco's early response to Breakout's success, focusing on their GB series. Rather than a direct clone, Namco created games like Gibi, Bombi, and QDQ, which blended block breaking with pinball mechanics, including side pockets that introduced a fun element of randomness, the reviewer highlights. GB itself sold a respectable 8,000 units, put into perspective by comparison to Xevious. A curious offshoot mentioned is Underwater Treasure Hunt, a game made by modifying Gibi or Bombi boards. Despite a promising visual design featuring a diver, the reviewer notes its core flaw. The outcome of opening the final treasure box is based on pure luck, making it ultimately unsuccessful. Accompanying the text are screenshots showcasing the distinct vertical pinball/breakout hybrid style of Gibi, Bombi, and QDQ, illustrating Namco's early ventures in the arcade world before their major hits like Galaxian, which is briefly mentioned as putting them on the Invader map. The page provides a glimpse into the diverse experiments emerging from the Breakout phenomenon. This page reviews Wonder Boy 2-1. The Dragon's Trap for the Game Gear, a port of the acclaimed Master System title. The narrative begins right after the previous game, where the hero's victory over the dragon results in a curse, transforming him into a lizard man. The main goal is to break this curse and regain human form. The review emphasizes that fans of the Master System original will find this port highly satisfying. Screenshots showcase the side-scrolling action, depicting combat, exploration, magic usage, and the password screen used for saving progress. The reviewer praises the game's presentation, stating the graphics and sound are well executed for the Game Gear hardware. The game's overall balance and replayability are also highlighted as strong points, making it a recommended action RPG despite its familiarity to those who played the original version. This page reviews the Game Gear port of Wonder Boy 2-1, The Dragon's Trap, a faithful adaptation praised for its presentation and gameplay. This page features reviews for 2 Game Gear titles. First up is Phantasy Star Adventure, an adventure game set in the Phantasy Star universe. It features side characters from the main series as the protagonists, offering a new story within the familiar world. The reviewer notes that the game's command interface requires scrolling, which can be a bit inconvenient, and feels the graphics are somewhat basic for the genre. Despite feeling like a nostalgic release, it offers a unique perspective on the PS lore. The second game reviewed is Alien Syndrome. This Game Gear version is highlighted as being a more faithful adaptation of the arcade game compared to the previous Master System port, notably featuring full directional scrolling. The review mentions various power-ups available, like the laser and fireball, which evolves into a homing missile. While there are some minor criticisms regarding tricky level design where it's hard to judge where you can fall, the reviewer praises the game balance, mentioning that the feeling of being close to success after a game over encourages continued play. This page kicks off with a review of the Game Gear title, Buster Ball, a fast-paced sports game from Riverhill Soft. It's described as leaning heavily into a game-like feel rather than realism, combining elements from various sports. You control vehicle-like teams, seemingly based on car manufacturers, in matches where scoring can be as simple as carrying the ball into the goal, almost like rugby, while also allowing combat with opponents, like charging up fireballs. The game scores moderately across the board, with particular fun noted in competitive 2-player matches, although the field feels quite wide. The page also features a G.G. hotline preview for the upcoming Game Gear RPG, Axe Battler, A Legend of Golden Axe. This title is highlighted as a top pick internally at Sega, and considered a masterpiece for the Game Gear. The game's setting is an Arabian-themed fantasy world, which is noted as quite unique, featuring real-time text battles and strong graphics with inserted visual scenes. The game adopts a party system, allowing you to recruit companions up to a maximum of 4 characters, and even Sinbad is mentioned to make an appearance. This page kicks off with a special feature announcing the winners of the first Elephant's Hole Grand Prize. This initiative, spearheaded by Sonic Software Planning President Yuji Naka, though not explicitly named here as president, he is the head of SSP, is designed to nurture aspiring game designers and entertainers by soliciting game ideas. The feature highlights the 8 winners selected from the submissions, noting their locations and the genres of their concepts, which include RPG, simulation, SLG, CDBASED games, and racing, rack. The top prize goes to Shikizu from Hyogo for a concept titled Shining Focus. This winning entry is specifically praised for its detailed planning and visual presentation, described as a racing game concept akin to F-Zero. The text includes sketches from the winning submission, illustrating the level of detail. The winner of the grand prize receives a Shining Force cartridge and points, while the other 7 winners are awarded a large poster, stickers, and fewer points. A message from the president thanks everyone for their submissions and notes the increasing quality of the ideas, encouraging future participation. This Elephant's Hole segment serves as a fascinating look into how Sonic Software Planning sought to discover new talent and concepts during this golden era of gaming. This page presents insights from magazine contributors. Takahashi Hiroyuki reports on the U.S. gaming market, impressed by the Sega Genesis's success, particularly its Christmas performance and strong public image. He believes this puts pressure on the Japanese market and highlights the competitive atmosphere between Sega and Nintendo. Naito Hiroshi's column offers a personal update, detailing his experiences with various cars he's owned, reflecting on his late acquisition of a driver's license. Taguchi Soichi celebrates the completion of Shining Force, expressing joy over its positive reception and the possibility of related events, though potential logistical challenges are noted. The This Month's Proverbs section reflects on development challenges, specifically release delays. The next page features a column about a weekend space trip, detailing observations of celestial bodies, craters like the Arizona meteor crater, and discussing the impact of asteroids, referencing the book Lucifer's Hammer. Below that is the Sonic Sushin Mania section, a reader's corner showcasing fan art and mail. The page is filled with diverse illustrations from readers, featuring characters that appear to be from the Sonic universe, Phantasy Star, and other Sega titles, alongside commentary from the magazine staff and the artists. The final section, titled Ending, provides an update on the development of a large game, confirmed to be Shining Force, mentioning its 16 megabit size, and the team structure led by key figures like Taguchi and Tanaka. They discuss the project's completion timeline, and announce that the next issue will delve into the game's production process. There's also a brief note about the reservation campaign for Shining Force being extended, along with an address for readers to send postcards. This page features an interview titled, Interview to Game Musician, with Ukulele Ino and Masato Mizushima, discussing CDG CD graphics. Mizushima-san is identified as a producer for the CD graphics title Super Dungeon Master at Victor Entertainment. The interview delves into what CDG is, essentially adding graphics to standard music grids, allowing for visuals alongside the audio. They mention that those with CD-ROM drives for consoles like the PC Engine or Mega CD can potentially play CDG content. The conversation highlights karaoke as a primary application of CDG technology. The page includes a section called Karaoke Showdown, featuring photos of both individuals holding microphones and singing. The text notes that they got so into the discussion about karaoke that they ended up singing, specifically mentioning a duet of Cezanne All-Stars' Itoshi no Eli, and that once they grabbed the microphones, they didn't want to let go. It concludes with a speech bubble from Mizushima-san, suggesting they sing a song. This page features the third installment of the Portraits of Adventurers, exciting story series, focusing on James Cook, 17,281,778, hailed as the captain among captains. The article argues that no area remains unexplored by Cook, highlighting his exceptional seamanship and leadership skills which allowed him to undertake great voyages. It discusses his career progression from a farmer's son to a respected naval officer, contrasting him with stereotypical captains who were often pirates. Cook's success is attributed to his warm approach to people and the deep respect and trust he earned from his subordinates. He is noted for his scientific approach to navigation and exploration, detailing discoveries like Australia, New Caledonia, and Hawaii. The article also touches upon his tragic death in Hawaii in 1778, following a misunderstanding with the locals, noting that his last words were reportedly telling his men to stop firing. The page is illustrated with a portrait of Cook and a drawing of a ship sailing on the ocean with a world map in the background. This page kicks off a new series titled Multimedia Declaration, penned by Agi Nihiaku, exploring the foundations of multimedia technology. The first installment focuses on Apple's innovative QuickTime and its impact, particularly on keydrum gaming. The article explains QuickTime as a software architecture designed to handle time-based data like audio and video, distinguishing it from simple speed. It highlights QuickTime's crucial role in video compression, making it feasible to include video on keydrums. The author notes that upcoming games like the 3D robot title Lil Zone and the action game Spectre are examples of how this technology is being adopted. QuickTime's integration into a system allows video to be treated like data, enabling automatic synchronization of audio and video and consistent playback across different machines. Crucially, it empowers users to edit video, like text, in a word processor, cutting and pasting scenes. The images on the page demonstrate video editing timelines and the quality of QuickTime video clips, showing how realistic imagery could be incorporated. The piece concludes by expressing excitement for future games that will leverage this powerful new system, allowing for more complex scenarios and productions. This page features an interview with Morio Shigemori, the president of Sims, a Sega subsidiary established the previous year. The article introduces Sims as a skilled development group, previously known for working on Sega titles behind the scenes, and now stepping into the spotlight by releasing games under their own brand. Shigemori discusses the company's origins and their relationship with Sega, highlighting their extensive history of developing games for Sega consoles. He reveals that Sims was responsible for developing major Sega hits, like the original Outrun and Shadow Dancer, The Secret of Shinobi, known as Ninja Thunder Legend in Japan, for the Mega Drive, among other titles released under the Sega brand. The interview touches upon their ongoing work, including potential continued development for the Master System, particularly in Europe where it remained popular. The page showcases several gameboxes likely developed by Sims, including Shadow Dancer, SWAT, Mystic Defender, and Duke, reinforcing their portfolio of action and adventure titles. The interview positions Sims as a key player in Sega's software development strategy, transitioning from a behind-the-scenes force to a publicly recognized developer with their own brand. This page continues the interview with Morio Shigemori, president of Sims, a subsidiary closely tied to Sega. Shigemori elaborates on Sims' role, confirming they handle Master System development, particularly for Europe, and port many Sega arcade titles to home consoles. He mentions recent ports they've worked on, including Outrun, Alien Storm, Shadow Dancer, The Secret of Shinobi, and Glock, Air Battle. He discusses the challenges of porting arcade games, noting that while Sega provided technical support, much of the work relied on Sims' expertise. He also touches on their future plans, indicating a focus on both arcade ports and original titles across various Sega platforms like the Mega Drive, Mega CD, and potentially the Game Gear. Shigemori highlights plans for a major RPG on the Mega CD later in the year, expressing confidence in the title. He states that game release strategies are determined by market reception, with racing games like Outrun being suitable for both domestic and international cartridge releases due to their broad appeal. The page features images of the Sims headquarters and a portrait of Shigemori, along with screenshots from their Mega Drive port of Outrun and Shadow Dancer, The Secret of Shinobi, showcasing their capability in action and racing titles. This page continues the interview with Sims president Morio Shigemori. He discusses the company's focus, emphasizing that mastering basic principles is key to creating innovative games. He elaborates on their approach to game development, particularly regarding the Mega CD. Shigemori mentions that Shura no Mon is a Mega CD title they are working on, and believes the system's capabilities, like scaling and rotation, offer significant potential if utilized properly. He notes that while ports like Outrun and Shadow Dancer showcase their technical skill, Sims aims to be recognized for their original titles and their expertise across various genres, including race and sports games. Sims plans to significantly increase their staff size from 50 to 100 people in the future, and intends to release more original software, including titles for overseas markets and an RPG for the Mega CD later this year. The page includes screenshots from Tecmo World Cup '92 Mega Drive, Heavyweight Champ, Game Gear, Shura no Mon, Mega CD, and Wonder Mega Quiz, Mega CD. A postscript by the magazine staff highlights Sims' growth and technical skill shown in titles like the Outrun port and Shadow Dancer, expressing anticipation for their upcoming Mega CD RPG and quiz game. This page announces the winners of the Sega Winter Campaign. Featured prominently is a dynamic image of Sonic the Hedgehog riding a globe. The campaign, which ran from November 20th to January 31st, targeted owners of the Mega CD, Mega Drive, and Game Gear. Prizes included 10,000 yen awarded weekly to 100 people, a total of 800, and the coveted Sega Award, a special wristwatch, or the Sonic Award, a special game rack, for another 1,000 winners each. The page lists some of the winners for the Sega Award, showcasing individuals from various prefectures across Japan who received the custom watch featuring the Sega logo. It also indicates that other winners for the Sonic Award are listed elsewhere or represent the remaining 900 recipients. Both awards are described as high-value, specially made items, making the winners quite lucky. The page also mentions a campaign idea contest and notes that prizes will be shipped out in March. This page shows the winners of the Sonic Award from the previous page's campaign, featuring a cool, specially made Sega game rack designed to neatly store your Mega Drive and games. The list shows the names of the lucky winners from various prefectures across Japan who received this awesome prize. Following up on the winner's announcement, the magazine's editorial team is giving non-winners a second chance with a campaign idea contest. They managed to secure 5 more of the special Sega watches and 5 more of the custom game racks. To enter, you just need to send in your ideas for future Sega campaigns. What kind of events or prizes would you like to see? Write down your preferred prize, the watch or the rack, and send your ideas in. The editorial team will pass all the ideas along to Sega, so your suggestions could actually influence future promotions. Winners will be chosen by lottery, with the deadline for entries being March 31st. This page is a detailed guide on how readers can fill out the magazine's questionnaire postcard, acting as a vital feedback mechanism for the editorial team. It provides instructions on marking answers for standard questions covering reader demographics like gender, age, and occupation, as well as surveying their gaming habits, such as how many Mega Drive games they've purchased recently, and which gaming platforms they currently own. Crucially, the questionnaire asks for specific feedback on the current issue, requesting readers list articles they found most and least interesting, helping shape future content. A significant part of the survey is the Most Wanted Game question, accompanied by a numbered list of dozens of upcoming or desired titles. This list is a treasure trove for any Mega Drive fan, featuring classics like Toe Jam and Earl, Shining Force, Steel Empire, and many other diverse games covering various genres. Readers are instructed to pick their single most anticipated title from this extensive list. The page serves as a straightforward instruction manual for readers to participate and share their thoughts directly with the magazine staff. This page features a special talk session highlighting the new power era for the Mega Drive, focusing on key partner companies. The discussion includes Mr. Kazutaka Yano from Sega Falcom and Mr. Mamoru Shigemitsu, president of Sims. The talk explores how Sega Falcom, Sims, and the Sonic team are collaborating to strengthen the Mega Drive software lineup. Sega Falcom discusses their intent to leverage their expertise, particularly for Mega CD titles, aiming to create software that might differ from Sega's internal development. Sims, who previously worked on Sega hits like Outrun and the Master System version of Ninja Gaiden, details their future plans for the Mega CD, including an arcade quiz game license, a new driving game from the Outrun staff, and an RPG tentatively titled Vi. The Sonic team's promotional efforts, particularly for Shining Force, are also mentioned. Overall, the conversation emphasizes the strategic importance of diverse, high-quality software developed by these partners to boost the Mega Drive, especially the Mega CD, making it a more major platform. The focus is on harnessing the unique strengths of each company to deliver compelling new experiences for players. This special talk session centers on the Mega Drive's future. The discussion highlights Sega's strong performance at CES, particularly the Genesis's success in the US, and emphasizes the critical importance of quality software. Sega's open development environment, which empowers external developers, is seen as a key factor, with Sonic the Hedgehog as a prime example. The Mega CD is mentioned, noting the need for more software releases. The page showcases Shining in the Darkness and Tecmo World Cup '92. Brief profiles of key partner companies, Sims, Sega Falcom, and Sonic are provided, outlining their collaborations and contributions. President Hiroyuki Takahashi aims to elevate the Mega Drive's status. The overall conclusion is that strategic software development, utilizing these partnerships, is essential for the Mega Drive to thrive, especially in competitive markets like the US. The text discusses the pricing of game software, with a focus on the Mega Drive and its Mega CD add-on. It highlights varying market success in Europe and the US, particularly the resurgences in the US. The interview delves into the Mega Drive's potential, the time needed for developers to utilize it fully, and comparisons to CD-ROM technology. A key topic is Mega CD software, with potential ports of PC Engine titles like YSIV, and popular series such as YS, Dragon Slayer, and Sorcerian considered. Sega Falcom expresses commitment to developing for the Mega CD, including original titles. The hard-first strategy and challenging conventional wisdom are credited for success. Arcade ports and development effort, like Shining Force, are also discussed. The page includes a screenshot of the PC RPG Dinosaur and a chart showing Mega Drive game genres released in 1991. Finally, it features Kenji Oriwamo, a Sega director. This page continues the discussion on the Mega Drive and its potential, particularly with the advent of the Mega CD. The participants, likely industry insiders, reinforce the pricing philosophy, stating that game software shouldn't exceed 10,000 yen, citing examples like Magical Taruto-kun at a much lower price point. They see the Megacred's large capacity as essential for handling complex games, a capability not easily matched by cartridges, and view successful Crydrom implementation as a key differentiator for Sega. There's significant excitement about porting international PC adventure games, like King's Quest, to the Mega CD, making these experiences more accessible. Screenshots highlight upcoming titles: Alien Syndrome, noted as releasing this month, and the highly anticipated RPG Shining Force, coming soon. A chart visualizes the monthly release numbers for Mega Drive software in 1991, indicating the volume of games entering the market, with a note about the inclusion of Crydrom titles in December. The next page kicks off the Mega CD press section, offering a look at new discs coming to the system. The highlight is The Heroic Legend of Arslan, an eagerly anticipated game adaptation of the best-selling novel by Yoshiki Tanaka, which also saw a recent anime movie. Developed by Human and planned as a simulation game for a summer release, the article notes that the studio, known for sports titles, is putting significant effort into translating the rich source material and focusing on strong visuals for this Mega CD title. Character artwork from the game is featured, showcasing key figures like Daryon, the Knight in Black, and a formidable commander, Prince Arslan, the protagonist exuding a noble presence, and Ferengis, depicted as a master archer. This section covers several upcoming Mega CD titles, including Lunar, Cosmic Fantasy Stories, Magical Girl Silky Lip, Isle Load, Dark Wizard, and Denjin Alestes, indicating the breadth of titles leveraging the CD format's capabilities. It also mentions Wonder Mega and additional Mega CD information. This page announces the release of the Wonder Mega, an integrated machine combining the Mega Drive and Mega CD, coming from both Sega and JVC. The article highlights the shift to a top-loading CD mechanism compared to the separate Mega CD's front-loading, noting this contributes to space saving and cost reduction. JVC is set to release their version on April 1st for 82,800 yen, while Sega's model follows on April 24th for 79,800 yen, a difference noted after JVC's press conference on February 26. The Wonder Mega boasts enhanced features beyond standard gaming, including high-quality sound with 1-bit DAC and DSP, various video outputs like SVideo and RF, and even karaoke capabilities with mic inputs and echo effects. It also includes MIDI output, suggesting future potential for music creation. Although sharing the same basic design, the Sega and JVC versions have subtle differences, mainly in the logo placement and some minor color variations. This page dives deeper into the Wonder Mega's impressive capabilities beyond just gaming. A key highlight is its robust built-in karaoke function, allowing users to enhance their singing with features like vocal masking on regular crids, pitch control, digital echo, and support for 2 microphones for duets. It's described as having professional-level features. The page also emphasizes the sound quality for gaming, introducing the DAP, Digital Acoustic Processor. This technology, originally from JVC's audio equipment, significantly enhances game sound effects, offering modes like Exabass for powerful low frequencies, and Game Position, which adds a surround feel. With sound sources like FM, PCM, and PSG combined, the Wonder Mega promises a richer audio experience that surpasses the standard Mega CD. These sound modes are also usable with music crids. Furthermore, the Wonder Mega includes a MIDI output terminal, opening up possibilities for connecting to electronic musical instruments. Although the availability of compatible software is noted as limited currently, the page features images of the unit and quotes from Sega and JVC representatives, highlighting the machine's appeal as a family entertainment system. This page expands on the Wonder Mega's capabilities, highlighting how it enhances the Mega CD experience. It details the improved input/output terminals, including dedicated audio outputs, and mentions features like CD plus MIDI functionality and the potential for peripherals like a power speaker, suggesting a focus on audio quality and expandability. The page also contrasts the boot-up screens and CD player interfaces of the Wonder Mega and the standard Mega CD. A significant focus is on the bundled software included with the Wonder Mega, the Wonder Mega Collection CD. This disc contains 4 games everyone can enjoy, packaged under the title Game Garden. These include a quiz game, Quiz Scramble, the classic action title Flicky, the puzzle game Pyramid Magic, and the sports game Paddle Fighter, offering a diverse mix of genres right out of the box. Furthermore, the bundle includes karaoke versions of 4 hit songs from the previous year. These popular tracks feature well-known artists, making the software a great tool for practicing and enjoying karaoke at home. The included songs are 1. Ai wa Katsu, Kan. 2. Love Story wa Totsuzen ni Kazumasa Oda. 3. Say Yes, Chage and Asuka. 4. Anata ni aete yokata, Kyoko Koizumi. The article notes, this karaoke software is bundled with the Wonder Mega, and is not available for separate purchase, emphasizing the value of the package. This makes the Wonder Mega a compelling all-in-one entertainment system. This page introduces Wonder Dog, the new mascot character for the Wonder Mega, based on the iconic dog from Victor's logo. The article shares a brief, charming origin story for the character, describing how a boy named Billy discovers him inside a large bone after a strange event. Wonderdog is being developed as a cross-media star, appearing in various forms of entertainment. It then announces the first game featuring the character, simply titled Wonderdog. This Mega CD title, scheduled for a June release, is described as an action game akin to Sonic the Hedgehog, boasting a wide variety of character animations and including exclusive anime sequences for its opening and ending, leveraging the Klee-drum format. Screenshots display vibrant platforming action. Finally, the page addresses a practical concern for Mega CD owners: saving game data. It highlights the need for external storage, particularly for simulation games. A new backup RAM cartridge is announced, providing 1 MB of storage, available at the end of March. Data management, including saving and copying from the internal RAM, is performed through the system's control screen option menu. This page features Lunar, the Silver Star, a highly anticipated RPG title for the Mega CD from GameArts, currently in development. The page includes vibrant artwork of the main characters, Alex and Luna, alongside a fierce dragon. The article delves into the game's development, explaining that the team's dedication to quality is the reason for the game's undecided release date. It states that the scenario is nearly finished and debugging has begun, with ongoing adjustments to make the battle system more enjoyable. While graphics are largely complete, refinement work is in full swing, as highlighted by screenshots showing the Goat's Forest area, which has been redrawn 3 times in pursuit of a better look. This level of detail shows the developer's commitment to delivering an excellent game. This page dives deep into the magic system of Lunar, the Silver Star. Magic is common in the world, with magic universities and shops. But not everyone can wield it from the start. Characters learn and develop their abilities as they adventure, with each specializing in different types of magic or skills. For instance, Alex primarily focuses on fire magic, perfect for torching enemies like the Puffy and Creep. Jessica, despite being a priestess, uses powerful healing magic, a vital asset for keeping the party alive. Nash, the apprentice mage, excels in lightning magic, which sounds impressive, especially considering his lineage. Mia, surprisingly, is skilled in elemental magic, earth, water, fire, wind, using the spirits to attack enemies aggressively, perhaps due to getting scared and lashing out. Kyle doesn't use magic, but relies on various combat techniques instead, honed through training, making him a strong fighter who can hold his own against mages. Finally, Luna's beautiful singing isn't just for show. It possesses actual magical power, capable of both healing and attacking. The screenshots accompanying each character section demonstrate their respective abilities in action, showing the visual effects of fire, healing, lightning, elemental spells, Kyle's techniques, and Luna's songs during battle. This detailed look at the characters and their unique powers really highlights the strategic depth of the game's combat system. This page takes us on a tour of the expansive world of Lunar, the Silver Star, showcasing its diverse locations and the people who inhabit them. The opening text highlights the beauty and variety of the world, emphasizing the immersive experience offered by the game's detailed graphics. We get glimpses of key early game areas like Berg Village, the peaceful hometown of protagonist Alex, and the heroic Dine. There's also the dangerous Galeon's Forest, known for its mysterious maze-like paths and monsters, where the party is destined to meet the seasoned traveler Lake. The White Dragon Cave is featured, described as the first major objective in Alex's adventure, an icy dungeon where they seek a meeting with the legendary White Dragon. The journey continues to Saith Port, a bustling town serving as the gateway to the mainland, where Alex and his friends encounter the ambitious apprentice mage Nash. Finally, the Saith Lighthouse is shown, serving as a crucial landmark and navigational aid, though it seems monsters have taken up residence there, posing a challenge before the party can travel to Maribia. Each location is accompanied by screenshots showing the game's top-down view graphics, and character portraits introduce some of the important figures encountered early in the quest, like Lake and Nash. The page effectively gives a sense of the adventure ahead, promising exploration and encounters with a colorful cast of characters. The next page continues our journey through the world of Lunar, the Silver Star, detailing more key locations you'll visit on your quest. First up is Althena's Shrine, the holy place dedicated to the goddess Althena, where many priests train. It's suggested this is a place for healing and recovery, and perhaps where you might reunite with Jessica. The screenshots show the grand shrine buildings. Next is Maribia, a major trading city governed by Mel, one of the 4 heroes. It's a bustling metropolis full of life and sights, offering plenty to explore and learn about. The text highlights Mel's past as a warrior who wielded a giant axe one-handed. We also see Vane, the flying city of magic. This is the center of magic in the world, home to mages and students, governed by Lemina and Galleon, two more of the legendary 4 heroes. It's the place to be if you want to master the arcane arts. Then there's Lun, a peaceful lakeside village where people live quietly by fishing. However, the text hints that something is stirring, suggesting adventure will find even this serene place. Finally, Nanza Pass is shown. This mountain barrier controls access to the inner continent. It's currently under the control of bandits, making passage risky. The screenshots give a glimpse of the rugged terrain and the stronghold blocking the way. Overall, this page provides a great overview of the diverse environments and challenges awaiting players as they delve deeper into Lunar's rich world. This page dives into the battle system and graphical variety of Lunar, the Silver Star. The article highlights the game's engaging combat, which features a smart AI that handles standard encounters but allows for manual command input for tougher foes like bosses or when strategic support is needed. Damage is visually represented by heart icons popping out of characters' heads. Nar, your companion, flies above the battle but doesn't directly participate. The party can have up to 5 members in combat, while field encounters are less frequent for a smoother journey. Dungeons and towers have a higher encounter rate for more action. The page also showcases the game's diverse backgrounds. It mentions numerous environments, like grasslands, rocky areas, and the White Dragon's Cave, stating there are over 30 different battle backgrounds in total. These detailed and varied backdrops are described as significantly enhancing the game's atmosphere and immersion, making the battles visually appealing. Screenshots show combat in a grassland, a desert area, and a dungeon, demonstrating the different environments and the character sprites, Arshis, Luna, Ramus, Mia, Jessica, Nash, Kyle, engaged in combat. The reviewer praises the rich detail and variety of the backgrounds. This page features an interview with Kikuko Inoue, the voice actress for Luna, as she experiences playing Lunar, the Silver Star. She shares her impressions of the game, her character, and the experience of seeing her voice dialogue in action, expressing how moved she was by the visuals. Also present are key staff members including scenario writer Takayuki Shigema, character designer Toshiyuki Kubuka, and visual director Suzuki, who offer their thoughts on the game and Inoue's work. The interview touches on Inoue's lyric writing for the game's music CD as well. Included are photos of Kikuko Inoue playing the game, and a group shot featuring her alongside Shigema, Kubuka, and Suzuki. There's also a promotion offering signed art boards by character designer Toshiyuki Kubuka, featuring characters from Lunar, the Silver Star, as a gift to readers. Images of the artboards showcasing Luna, Ramus, Alex, and Null are displayed, highlighting Kubuka's distinct style. Finally, the page includes a preview for the next issue, promising more coverage of Lunar, the Silver Star. This page features a follow-up report on the RPG title Cosmic Fantasy Stories for the Sega Mega CD. This game is a compilation combining the first 2 popular cosmic fantasy games originally released on the PC Engine. The writer expresses excitement about finally encountering a Mega CD title, and is particularly impressed with the visual scenes and the speed of disc access compared to other versions, drawing a parallel to the feeling of playing YSI and 2 on the PC Engine after experiencing the PC version. The page provides a brief recap of the game's opening sequence, detailing how the protagonists, Yu and Mamoru, crash land on planet Noog and are tasked by the village elder of Borda to defeat King Kobold in the nearby forest. Screenshots illustrate these early moments, showing the crash site, entering the village, a portrait of the elder during dialogue, a combat scene against a kobold, navigating a forest area, and reaching the Borda forest on the world map. The reviewer highlights the comparison with the PC Engine version and encourages readers to see the dynamic visual scenes, recommending the game for both returning players and newcomers. This page continues the journey in Cosmic Fantasy Stories after the Borda forest. The heroes arrive at a town, but find the residents looking grim. They learn that a monster living in the eastern cave has killed the village men, prompting Yu and Mamoru to head there to investigate. Inside the cave, they discover a horrific scene. A pile of human-sized bodies. This sight triggers an intense reaction in Yu, causing a powerful aura to erupt from him, signifying the awakening of his psychic especially abilities. The page shows screenshots of the town, dialogue with characters like Ruid, a village woman, and Redial, and scenes inside the cave leading up to Yuma's transformation. A large illustration of a woman turning around with the caption, "Oh, Tamaran," is also featured on the page. This page presents a thorough comparison of Cosmic Fantasy stories on PC Engine CD-ROM, covering the first two games, versus the Mega CD version. The article examines which version is superior, looking at various aspects of the game. It notes that the PC Engine CD versions I and II were released separately, while the Mega CD version combines them. The comparison covers visuals, battle systems, town and field graphics, and sound. Visually, the Mega CD version is highlighted for faster performance thanks to its twin CPU and including the original opening animation, while the PC Engine CD loads more frequently. The battle system is unified in the Mega CD version, and it boasts better visual effects for magic compared to the PC Engine CD. Town layouts and field graphics differ, with the Mega CD version featuring more detailed and animated elements, particularly the sea, which is described as more realistic. Sound quality is debated, with both systems having merits, but the Mega CD version using FM sound is noted for clear sound and possibly having a slight edge. The article suggests the Mega CD version has the advantage in several areas, particularly in battle effects and field map detail. The next page showcases the impressive animation capabilities of the Mega CD, specifically highlighting the non-stop animation featured in the game Cosmic Fantasy Stories. The article emphasizes that the game's main selling point is its visual animation scenes, particularly the opening sequence, which is noted as a Mega CD original. The reviewer praises the animation for being very fluid and the combination with the background music as outstanding, suggesting that seeing this quality of animation would make players feel their purchase of a Mega CD was worthwhile. Sequential screenshots are provided, presented as animation frames for the characters Yu, Saya, Monmo, and Ban, allowing readers to appreciate the detail and movement. This page serves as a demonstration of the Mega CD's power to deliver high-quality animated sequences not typically seen on earlier hardware. This page features Magical Girl Silky Lip, an RPG and adventure hybrid title from Nihon Telenet's Riot Division, released on Credron. The headline promises the ultimate lower body growling game, and the accompanying text highlights its pioneering magical girl game genre and overwhelming cuteness. The page presents a large pixel art portrait of the protagonist, Lip, a 10-year-old girl who even sings in the game. A section titled Lip's Album shows her progression from birth to elementary school, culminating in a rather suggestive image focusing on her splendid butt, which aligns with the provocative headline. Gameplay screenshots showcase a top-down perspective where players interact with characters to advance the story. Scenes include Lip's magic elementary school, the dream road connecting worlds, and her arrival in the human realm. Notably, the information box displays character stats that include emotional states like joy, anger, and sorrow, alongside standard HP and magic power. The reviewer praises the detailed graphics, noting the impressive level of artistry. The game appears to blend traditional RPG elements with visual novel-style character interactions within a unique magical girl setting. This page continues the deep dive into Magical Girl Silky Lip, opening with the protagonist's sentiment, "Me, if I could, I wouldn't want to fight." Despite this reluctance, the game requires combat progression. The text explains that leveling up Lip is crucial, and her primary attack method is magic. Players will face many unusual enemies, adding to the challenge. The animation patterns during combat are highlighted as enjoyable, and the reviewer notes that Lip's voice acting is present during battle sequences. Screenshots show the combat interface, featuring commands like magic, flee, talk, and think. One screen depicts Lip performing a spell, another shows an enemy taking damage, and a third shows Lip recovering HP. The game promises proper animation and voice acting for magic usage. A dedicated section showcases Silky Lip Visual Art Collection, presenting several large character portraits demonstrating the game's detailed artwork. This includes depictions of Lip and other prominent characters. Further images show animated character interactions, emphasizing the game's visual novel elements and voice acting. The text points out that the game features full animation sequences and voice work, adding to the presentation quality. The page also features an image of a heart-shaped pendant, identified as the source of Lip's magical power, stating that losing it would be disastrous. Overall, the page reinforces the game's blend of RPG combat, visual novel storytelling, and strong emphasis on character art, animation, and voice acting. This page delves into Wolf Team's RPG/C-DROM, Isle Lord. Set for release on March 27, the article highlights the game's visual presentation, noting its ambitious opening and ending demos, which blend live-action digitized footage with computer graphics. While Wolf Team has used digitized footage before, this CG synthesis is a first for Isle Lord, indicating significant effort went into these key cinematic sequences. The page showcases images from the live-action shoot, which took place in a church in Tokyo. We see the actress Chizuru Itu portraying Priestess Kuzner, along with production staff and camera equipment, giving a glimpse into the behind-the-scenes work. The images also include an anime-style character and the game's title logo. The reviewer notes that the exact content of the demos isn't fully revealed, but encourages readers to imagine based on the visuals. This focus on merging different visual styles for dramatic effect is presented as a major draw for the game. This page provides further details on Wolf Team's Isle Lord, focusing on the voice acting and featuring an interview with one of the main voice actresses. It covers the voice recording session held in Tokyo, noting the large number of actors involved and the process of recording while watching the game's visual scenes on a monitor, similar to the approach used for Ernest Evans. The page highlights the voice actors for the four main characters: Toshihiko Seki as Roll, Mio Aoi as Renisha, Maria Kawamura as Tail, and Hiroshi Sato as Ashaluk, showcasing their photos and character art. Several other notable voice actors also participated in the recording session. A significant portion is dedicated to an interview with Yuko Minaguchi, who voices Shalmar, the protagonist's holy sword. She discusses her experience playing the role, noting that Shalmar is a more mature character than roles she typically voices, and that she found the role challenging. Minaguchi praises Isle Lord's visuals, stating they look like modern animation, unlike older computer graphics. Interestingly, she reveals she plays Famicom, but doesn't own a Quadrom console, meaning she hasn't actually played or seen the game she voiced. She also shares her preference for voice acting over television work, and concludes with a message to readers about gaming responsibly, drawing from her own past experience with excessive gaming. A screenshot of the sword Shalmar is shown, emphasizing its mysterious presence matched by Minaguchi's voice. This page continues the coverage of Isle Lord, laying out the foundation of its story and highlighting a key element: the sentient holy sword, Shalmar. Set in the chaotic Holisk era where dark demon kings are stirring, the Church of Sharm appoints the young, inexperienced priest Roll Escries as the new defender of the gods. His weapon is the legendary Shalmar, a sword with a soul that can communicate with Roll and holds centuries of knowledge, directly tying into the voice acting discussed previously. The page details Roll's first mission to the Forest of Hain to investigate a relic called the Mirror of Broken Gates. Visuals showcase the game's impressive anime-style cutscenes, depicting strange encounters in the forest and hinting at the bizarre events Roll will face, reinforcing the game's strong presentation. This page dives into the battle system of Isle Lord. When you encounter monsters in the 3D exploration mode, the screen transitions to a battle mode, and a set of icons appears at the bottom, allowing you to issue commands to each character based on the situation. The page highlights these icons, explaining their functions, which include standard actions like move, attack, use item, and wait, as well as more specific commands such as counter, pursuit, charge, and using special skills like magic. The battle takes place on a grid-like field, as shown in the screenshots, where characters are moved like pieces on a board. The general flow is an encounter, selecting actions via icons, and seeing the results, repeating until one side is defeated or you escape. While the core structure follows typical RPG battles, the page notes that Isle Lord incorporates unique features into its battle system. The film strip images continue to showcase dramatic cutscenes, featuring protagonist Roll facing various threats and experiencing intense moments, tying into the game's strong visual and narrative presentation previously discussed. This page covers the exploration and magic systems within the game Isle Lord, detailing room interaction and the various spells available to your party. Delving into the room mode, the game divides it into two types: dungeon rooms and shops. In dungeon rooms, you use icons and a cursor to investigate objects within the environment, and stairs allow movement between floors. Shops, as the name suggests, let you interact with shopkeepers using a talk cursor to purchase items. The screenshots illustrate the interface for exploring these rooms, and the different interactions. The page then introduces the magic system, a crucial element in Isle Lord, boasting approximately 60 different spells. These spells are categorized into 4 groups: attack, attack support, healing, and other spells. Using magic requires MP, mental points. And a critical point to remember is that running out of MP during battle will incapacitate the character. While detailed lists of spells are presented for reference, they cover offensive spells like fire and flash, support spells like panic and hard body, healing spells like heal and revive, and utility spells like search and pick. The page emphasizes understanding the spell's effects for strategic use.
An illustration of the game's main characters is also featured. This page features an interview with Haruhiko Mikimoto, the director of the visual department for the game Isle Lord. Known for his distinctive art style, Mikimoto discusses his work on the game, which included creating image illustrations for the 4 main characters, designing the characters who appear in the visual scenes, and checking the overall artwork. He touches upon his experience, admitting that while he's not deeply immersed in the game industry, he found the process engaging, especially seeing his character designs come to life on screen. The interview also delves into his approach to the fantasy setting of Isle Lords, contrasting it with his more well-known sci-fi works like Macross. A notable section showcases the impact of his corrections, comparing before and after versions of character graphics, demonstrating how details and expressions were refined under his guidance, specifically for the protagonist Hugh and the villain Kushana. The page concludes with a brief announcement about a signing event with Mr. Mikimoto to celebrate the game's release. This page features an in-depth look at Dark Wizard, an upcoming RPG for the Sega CD set for a July release. The focus here is overwhelmingly on the game's opening animation sequence, which the article praises effusively, stating it has gone beyond merely surprising players to reaching the level of deeply impressing them with its fluidity and quality. The visuals, driven by animation, are highlighted as a key strength of CD-ROM games, and Dark Wizard's opening is presented as pushing the boundaries with the sheer number of frames used for smooth motion. The article suggests the opening provides a digest of the game's lore, specifically hinting at events preceding the main story, like the conflict between Holy King Wenric version 2I and the Dark Sorcerer Viramges, including Viramges' plot to revive the Dark God and seek revenge. Screenshots showcase various scenes from the opening, including atmospheric locations like a castle and a room with a ritualistic pentagram, as well as character glimpses, notably a prominent wizard with a long white beard and other imposing figures, possibly hinting at powerful monsters. The reviewer expresses high anticipation, encouraging readers to see the spectacular, flowing animation for themselves.
Dark Wizard for Sega CD features a compelling story focused on the 4 heavenly kings, monstrous beings born from the Dark Sorcerer Voronez's ribcage. These powerful foes, Heldaharg, Water Beast Bitter Super, Wind Beast Gandur, and Flame Beast Karmark, are speculated to be key to Voronez's ambitions and may be a result of his transformation. The game boasts a robust monster system, allowing players to summon and evolve over 60 monster types. These allies grow stronger, changing appearance, and potentially expanding the roster. The narrative deepens with the looming revival of the dark god Ahriman on Viosidia Island, intensifying the conflict. Screenshots of key characters, including a wise wizard and cryptic imagery, contribute to the game's dark atmosphere, promising a thrilling showdown and a complex plot. This page features a look at Denjin Aleste, known internationally as Musha Aleste, Full Metal Fighter Eleanor, setting the classic Aleste shooter action within Japan's Sengoku period of 1556. The page showcases several prominent figures from that era who appear in the game, including Oda Nobunaga, Takeda Shingen, Uesugi Kenshin, and others. The article delves into the game's weapon system, detailing standard weapons, special weapons powered by items, and the familiar Teromaru and Jiromaru option units from previous titles. A new addition is a powerful ninjutsu bomb that clears the screen. Screenshots illustrate different weapon types, including a laser, multi-directional shurikens, homing options that can shift between offense and defense, and the explosive bomb. The option units are also shown, acting as rotating barriers or being launched for attacks. There's also a small section covering Mega CD news,
mentioning titles like Deathbringer and Magical Girl Silky Lip are expected soon, alongside updates on developers entering the platform. This page announces the start of production for a new Sega original shooting game, currently known by the development code 1212X, aiming for a release this autumn. Described as an unusual shooter designed to revitalize the genre,
The game is a horizontal scrolling experience set on planet Avalon. This world, initially terraformed through genetic manipulation, has been twisted by a terrorist-released virus, causing life forms to mutate into brutal, grotesque creatures, which form the game's enemies. The game system features 8 distinct stages, allowing players to choose from 4 different ship types, each equipped with evolving yo-yo options and various weapons. Unlike many difficult shooters of the time, 1212X emphasizes the pleasure of shooting and continuous shooting pleasure, focusing on gruesomely destroying the bizarre enemies. The game supports 2-player simultaneous play and a communication play mode via the Mega Modem. The page includes concept art for potential player ships and enemy designs, along with screenshots showing the bizarre, biomechanical enemies in action. A prominent section highlights an enemy character recruitment contest, inviting readers to submit their ideas for grotesque enemy designs for a chance to win prizes like Mega CD consoles. The magazine also teases an upcoming corner featuring an original novel set in the 1212X world. This page covers Sierra Online games coming to the Terra Drive, with potential ports to the Mega CD. The main feature is Conquests of the Longbow, The Legend of Robin Hood, an adventure game based on the film. The reviewer highlights its icon-based interface for ease of play, and praises the immersive atmosphere created by the VGA graphics, stating, "They look like movie scenes." The objective is rescuing King Richard, and screenshots showcase the game's visuals, including the title screen. The game is available now for 11,000 yen. The page also lists several other upcoming or recently released Sierra adventure titles. These include the puzzle game Castle of Dr. Brain, the fairy tale adventure Mixed Up Fairy Tales, the environmental adventure EcoQuest, the Search for Cetus where you protect marine life, and Laura Bao 2, the Dagger of Amon-Ra, a 1920s museum murder mystery, and the sequel to The Colonel's Bequest. Prices are given for the first 3, 9,000 or 11,000 yen, which are available now, while the Dagger of Amon-Ra has no price or release date yet. Screenshots are provided for each of these games, showing different gameplay perspectives and character designs. This page showcases new Japanese DOS/versus software titles that are becoming available. Featured are 3 distinct games. First, 2. Mahjong o Toryumon 2, a serious mahjong simulation certified by the Japan Pro Mahjong Federation, offering various modes and analysis features for players looking to improve. Next is Best Play Baseball, a baseball management simulator where you take on the role of a manager, focusing on team data and simulation rather than direct play, supporting mouse control. The third game is Flight of the Intruder, a flight simulator highlighted for being more accessible than others while still requiring training, supporting keyboard, mouse, and joystick, and featuring an autopilot function. Screenshots illustrating gameplay are provided for all 3 titles. Additionally, there is a section announcing a contest involving the game creation tool puzzle construction, and a Terra news update addressing frequently asked questions about the Terra Drive, confirming it cannot connect to the Mega CD, and touching on peripherals and user requests for PC game ports. This page kicks off a new feature called Hyper Sega Gaiden Arcadia Amazing. It starts with a notice introducing this new section, which seems to be a blend of story and game information. The main content presents a narrative about a game designed by a programmer named Kikyu, also titled Arcadia Amazing. A bug causes Kikyu's sister, Yuri, to get trapped inside the game world. Kikyu, along with others, including game designer Rina and Yuri's lover Kai, must enter the game themselves to rescue her. The game world is explicitly stated to be modeled after the Sega Fantasy World Arcade, located in Kashihara, Nara Prefecture, the details of which are provided alongside pictures of the actual arcade and its exterior, which appears to be part of a building housing a toys. Grias. The story describes the in-game world, which seems to involve exploring areas like a forest and tackling challenges, fitting the action/fantasy/RPG genre hybrid mentioned. They must find a key to progress. The images show the bright, colorful atmosphere of the real arcade, providing a visual basis for the fictional adventure. This page continues the narrative of Arcadia Amazing Gaiden, where our heroes are trapped inside a game based on the real Sega Fantasy World Arcade. To progress, they must obtain a key from a character referred to as Daibutsu, or Great Buddha. This leads them to challenge him within the arcade's signature R360 Motion Simulator Cabinet. The in-game challenge is based on Sega's aerial combat game, Glock, Air Battle, requiring the player to shoot down 22 enemies within a 2-minute time limit. The text vividly describes the disorienting motion of the R360, reflecting how even skilled players could feel motion sickness, while the characters struggle through the intense dogfight simulation. Accompanying images showcase the actual R360 arcade machine and the bustling interior of the Sega Fantasy World arcade, blurring the lines between the fictional game world and its real-life inspiration. Separately, a section titled Sega Information Station features a call for fan submissions. Sega is asking for ideas for unique, regional enemy characters, drawing inspiration from local specialties, animals, plants, or even food, offering original merchandise as prizes for accepted entries. This section includes a small image of Sonic the Hedgehog. This page features Volume 24 of the BeepMD Technique League, highlighting various secrets and cheats for Sega Mega Drive games. The introduction notes that while there are fewer tricks this time, due to a lull in software releases, the upcoming rush of new titles is expected to bring more information. Techniques are presented for 3 games. For Ransei no Hasha, Warlords of the Chaotic Era, button inputs are detailed to change your leader mid-game and access a hidden menu. YS2, Wanderers from YS players can learn a method involving controller inputs during reset to easily modify a doll's level on the status screen, which also helps recover damage and is suggested for the Galbalin boss fight. Finally, for Seirei Shinseki Feialia, Spirit God Century Feialia, a sequence involving talking to characters and using a specific item is described to unlock a powerful debug mode, allowing players to freely adjust party size and character levels. Screenshots illustrate the effects of these techniques in each game. This page features Volume 24 of the BeepMD Technique League, presenting various hidden techniques for Sega Mega Drive and Game Gear titles. For Solfease, players can access a scene select mode by inputting a specific button sequence on the title screen, which triggers a special sound effect. Further commands within the configuration menu can grant invincibility and maximum lives. Additionally, pressing a +B+C during gameplay or pause allows players to instantly skip to the next scene. In F1 Circus, 2 techniques are highlighted. One allows players to reduce the number of laps in the final race to just 2 by using directional and a button inputs on the course selection screen. Another lets players change the weather between sunny and cloudy using similar inputs on the same screen. A technique is also listed for the Game Gear title Taisenagata Senryaku G, describing how pressing up plus left and the start button simultaneously in the config menu grants access to a color setting mode. The BeepMD Technique League section explains how reader-submitted techniques are judged and awarded. Prizes for different ranks include gift certificates and software, recognizing powerful cheats like invincibility, or helpful tips for specific games or items. An additional note provides a technique for El Viento, allowing players to skip scenes by pausing and entering a specific button sequence. This page presents the April 1992 issue's reader, presents section and magazine information. The application method is standard via postcard by April 8th. The prize lineup includes 1. Your choice of MegaDrive software released up to March 1992. 30 winners. The screenshot shows what appears to be Shining Force 2, a classic tactical RPG 2. Your choice of Game Gear software released up to March 1992. 5 winners. 3. An aisle load telecard, featuring popular character designer Haruhiko Mikimoto's artwork, signed by the artist. 5 winners. 4. A dedicated MegaDrive joystick from Cluster, ideal for genres like shooting games. 5 winners. 5. Copies of the French MegaDrive magazine Megaforce, featuring titles like Donald Duck on Sonic and Asterix. 5 winners. The information section notes the release of Magical Taruto-kun in April, at a price point of 3,880 yen, prompting the magazine to comment that this price point is commendable, considering the current high cost of game software. The next issue promises a special feature on the Wonder Mega Console and future hot topics. The question telephone line is available for inquiries specifically about the magazine's content. The page also lists the full editorial and contributing staff for the issue. This page is an advertisement for Koei's Uncharted Waters, Daikukai Jidai, a simulation game coming to Mega Drive in April '92, promising ocean adventure and romance. This page features Koei's prominent strategy game series, highlighting Romance of the Three Kingdoms 2. The artwork showcases characters from the era, emphasizing the historical setting. This sequel to the classic strategy title is shown available across multiple platforms, including the Mega Drive, Super Famicom, and Famicom, demonstrating Koei's widespread reach in the early 90s. Screenshots display the game's interface and battle scenes, typical of Koei's grand strategy simulations. Beyond the game itself, the page promotes various related products like guidebooks, historical novels, manga adaptations, a card game, and even a music album, showcasing the company's deep commitment to its popular franchises like Romance of the Three Kingdoms and Nobunaga's Ambition. This page showcases Koei's celebrated historical grand strategy series, focusing on Nobunaga's Ambition, Lord of Darkness. A significant title for the era, it's highlighted for its success and availability across multiple platforms including the Mega Drive, Super Famicom, and Famicom. The page features vibrant artwork of historical figures and includes screenshots that give a glimpse into the detailed map and strategic interface players interact with. Beyond the core game, Koei heavily promotes a wide range of related merchandise, demonstrating their dedication to building comprehensive franchises. This includes comprehensive guidebooks, historical novels delving into the era, a strategic card game, and even music releases, offering fans numerous ways to engage with the world of Nobunaga's Ambition. This diverse lineup underscores Koei's position as a pioneer in leveraging their popular game IPs into broader entertainment properties during this period. The publisher is listed as Koei. This page introduces the upcoming Mega Drive title, Maten no Sumetsu, published by Kodansha Soken and scheduled for release in early summer. The page features striking black and white artwork set within an ornate golden frame, depicting a knight on horseback against a snowy, mountainous backdrop, facing off against a mysterious icy entity. The accompanying text provides a glimpse into the game's narrative, telling the tale of Zafan Wanlo, who discovers a seemingly unharmed baby with angel-like wings after a creature carrying the infant is struck by lightning. Feeling a profound sense of destiny, Zafan resolves to raise the child as his own. The game is noted to feature an 8 MB ROM and battery backup for save data. The price is listed as undecided. This page features more striking artwork likely related to Maten no Sumetsu, the upcoming Mega Drive title introduced on the previous page. Within the same ornate golden frame style, the illustration depicts a man holding a baby wrapped in a white blanket. Behind him, a disturbing, sketch-like figure looms. The prominent vertical text on the right side of the page delivers a dramatic line, reading, "Arunasu, who is the shadow standing behind you?" This suggests a conflict or mystery centered around the character named Arunasu and the ominous presence hinted at in the artwork, continuing the narrative setup from the previous page about Zafan and the mysterious infant. This page features striking artwork for the Sega Mega Drive adventure game, The Immortal. The illustration depicts the protagonist, a rugged explorer, battling grotesque, melting alien creatures in a swampy green environment, highlighted by the tagline, "It's Melt," or "Be Melted." The text below describes the player as a brave galactic explorer who thrives on planets teeming with unpleasant creatures, now stepping into a world that excites their curiosity. The page identifies the genre as an adventure game and credits Epix and Microworld, the Japanese publisher, for the game. This page introduces two Sega Mega Drive titles, acclaimed as hits in America, and now making their way to Japan. The lower half is dominated by striking artwork for the action game Stormlord, scheduled for release in late March. The illustration features the game's armored protagonist, hinting at the title's promise of riveting strategic gameplay, dazzling graphics, and awesome sound effects. Also highlighted is Slime World, another Aeneas favorite finally arriving on the Japanese shores. This page unveils Daime no Naisenshi, or Warrior Without a Name, a historical simulation and strategy title from Micronet released in 1992. The page features dramatic artwork depicting a determined leader figure against a backdrop of ancient warriors and a fiery sky, alongside the evocative phrase, "The footsteps of history creep closer." The game focuses on an ancient setting, likely a fictional world drawing inspiration from Greek and Roman history. Showcased are screenshots highlighting key features. The quarter-view screen provides an easy-to-manage overview of your territory or city. The interface is noted for its variable multi-window system, allowing players to freely arrange information displays like maps, commands, and messages. Combat transitions into a speedy real-time battle mode where units clash on a tactical grid. Priced at 8,800 yen, excluding tax, This title promises deep strategic gameplay combining management and real-time tactics. This page features Ambition of Caesar 2, the strategic follow-up from Micronet. Dominating the visual is the large English title alongside the Japanese Shiza no Yabo 2, and a bold declaration, "Now, a triumphant return!" The page displays charming, simplified cartoon artwork of a Roman soldier, likely Caesar himself, and a horse. Crucially, there's an important announcement regarding the game's release date. Originally slated for the end of February, the launch has been pushed back to April due to various circumstances. The developer offers an apology to eager fans and asks for continued patience. This page features the iconic cover art for Thunder Force, the legendary space shooter from Technosoft. The striking image depicts a sleek, red and white spaceship soaring through a vibrant starfield, with rays of light emanating behind it. Prominently displayed is the game's title in bold yellow Japanese characters overlaying the scene. The World of Technology Technosoft logo is visible at the top left, confirming the developer's identity. This page serves as a dynamic introduction to the game, highlighting its futuristic setting and high-energy action that define the series. This page features the iconic cover art for Thunder Force 2 MD, the acclaimed space shooter from Technosoft for the Mega Drive. The dynamic illustration showcases the series' signature sleek, red and white spaceship, the Fire Leo O2 Exeliza, soaring through a vast, glittering starfield and nebula. The bold yellow Japanese title, Stand By, dominates the center of the image, serving as the game's title for the Japanese release. The Mega Drive logo is clearly displayed at the top right, indicating the platform. A tagline reads, "The best of the future," likely a typo of future. The bottom right includes the developer's name, Technosoft, along with address and contact information. This cover art perfectly encapsulates the high-octane space combat experience that Thunder Force 2 delivers, setting the stage for the game's futuristic action. This page features a vibrant illustration promoting the Game Gear title, Monster World 2, Dragon's Trap, known internationally as Wonder Boy 2-1, The Dragon's Trap. The cover art depicts the hero transforming alongside various monster forms, facing a large dragon, reflecting the game's core mechanic. The surrounding text highlights the game as a popular and definitive adventure action title on the Game Gear. It mentions the quest to lift a curse by seeking the Salamander Cross and exploring Monster World with transforming player characters, emphasizing the varied gameplay. The page includes screenshots showing the platforming action and announces the game's release date and price. There is also a brief advertisement for the Game Gear console itself, featuring the TV tuner accessory.